like beer.
In the dancers.
Who could keep you coffee? She wants his handcuff.
Like myself, I know.
That's a little bit. She wants his handcuff.
In the dancers.
Who could keep you coffee?
Yeah.
Fine. Demogorgon. Demogorgon. She wants his handcuff.
In the dancers.
Who could keep you coffee? She wants his handcuff.
Like myself, I know.
That's a little bit. She wants his handcuff.
In the dancers.
Who could keep you coffee? Fine. Nice.
The tippy tops.
Demogorgon. 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 Demogorgon.
Like myself. In the dancers. In the dancers.
Yeah.
Like myself.
That's a little bit.
In the dancers.
Who could keep you coffee?
Yeah.
Fine. Demogorgon. Demogorgon. Who could you coffee?
Who could you copy?
Find.
Find. Who could you copy? Find.
What a stupid question.
At the bond, you're so. Yeah, I guess so. At the bond,
Who could you coffee?
at the bond. Who could you copy?
Find.
At the bond,
You are a rude, terrible person.
at the bond, you're so. Yeah, I guess so. At the bond,
Who could you coffee?
at the bond. Who could you copy?
Find.
At the bond,
Do you realize what you've said?
I should do. It's pounded in my brain often enough, asleep and awake, in the drowsy fantasy moment of every lonely dawn. Oh, come on. What's your answer?
You've taken my breath away.
What's your answer?
If I tell my mom and she tells your mom, would you sign up? If I tell my mom and she tells your mom, make me un poco who could you copy?
Who could you copy?
Find. If I tell my mom and she tells your mom, would you sign up? If I tell my mom and she tells your mom, make me un poco who could you copy?
Who could you copy?
Find.
say he's lived until he's loved.
Well, go out and love someone.
I do her.
Have you told her?
No, me. I'm too shy. Even I could cable her.
Well, why not semaphore? Arthur, you've got to declare yourself openly. Otherwise, you'll stay right where you are.
Gosh. 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 Gosh.
Simple man. I have plain, simple feelings, and I use plain, simple words. And I simply have to let you know, plainly, that I plainly and pimply want.
He's rather nice, then you have him. Oh, no, really, I think you ought to give him a chance. He seems kind of helpless.
Helplessness is the last thing I am looking for.
Ethan, Sammy. Sammy.
Look, please, if we're going to spend the rest of our lives together, you must learn not to interrupt.
The rest of our lives?
Yes,
You mean marriage?
of course.
You've got a nerve.
It's June, and Louder with Crowder is concluding our 4th annual Cultural Appropriation Month. Only instead of traveling to some third world shithole, this week we're covering the only culture that matters, America. So drink a beer, call ice on one of your coworkers, and wrap yourself in the only flag that counts. Join us as we make Cultural Appropriation Month great again, because to appropriate is to appreciate. Stream, everybody. Hey, before we get started, Cultural Appropriation Month is wrapping up. That means United States Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone, please join us.
Yes.
Right now, before we start the stream, a lot of flags here. Just pick a flag. Just pick one.
Just pick one. Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, total guys, come on.
Got off on the cadence because there are so many flags. Hopefully you don't see it as a sign of disrespect. It's ultra respectful because
It is.
look at all the flags.
You can't not look at a flag in this room.
Nary a Canadian flag to be found.
We literally have 11D5 flags.
That's I don't even know if that's Brodigan has already gotten into the
Is he
Jameson.
drunk?
He's already drunk. Really quickly, guys, everyone, use the hashtag debate CrowderDebateStream tonight. We're going to get into our thoughts and prayers here in a couple of seconds.
There you go.
Guests tonight, we have Dave Rubin
Rubin, John Stossel, a bunch of
Nice.
celebrity cameos. Want to let you know we have a costume contest for Cultural Appropriation Month wrapping up. Best costume. We'll be reading them aloud. Quarter Black Garrett later. And also send us in. You still have time for the submissions. You're
not too late.
The most American thing you could think of.
There you go.
Send in a video, and we'll be running the best ones later today. We also
see
some
that.
trivia before the break. Drinking game rules for tonight. Before we get to the debates, all right, let me make sure I have this right.
This is going to be a long
Let us
one.
know.
my
Send us your
goodness.
tweets.
Yeah.
You have to take a drink anytime the words fascist or ism, right? I don't have to do that.
Oh,
Fascist,
geez.
racist, gay, drink twice if it's butt gig, ICE,
Oh,
deportation, border, crisis, camps, migrant fair share
We're gonna
/
die.
fairness, white supremacist, Trump, 1%, student loans or debt, marginalized, LGBTQ, parentheses, AAIP, we must
I'm
act,
scared.
Planned Parenthood, reproductive rights, women's rights, Medicare for all, drink if Kristen Dealer asks more than one question, Obama, monarchy, gun control, Yang Gang, millionaires, billionaires, Wall Street, and you know what? We'll probably make some up along the way.
Go on.
So that is the
We're
drinking
going to run out
game.
of beer.
Yes, it's going to be like, that sounds like
tonight.
something we should drink for.
And
Drink.
let's
Oh my
send in
gosh.
the lovely American ladies to get us set up.
yeah.
We
Yes.
have a keg tonight.
We do.
Sam
Wonderful.
Adams, because that's the only large-scale brewery that I know that supports.
Yes.
Yes, the
actually,
Boston
Probably
Except,
Lager.
except for Yuling, but we all agree that sucks.
All right, so tonight we have we are down to 42 people, I believe.
Yes.
42.
What do you guys expect before we get to the debates here?
You know what? Given that last night they were talking about the candidates speaking in Spanish, I'm looking for like that kind of moment again.
No, they
that
weren't talking
think-
about. They were speaking. in
No, I know,
Spanish.
but that's what everybody talked about afterwards, right? So
Right.
that was the thing that people were just most up in arms about and thinking was hilarious. I'm looking for somebody to go, no, I can top that tonight. Like, I'm looking for the hold my beer moment.
Like Bernie
Whatever-
Sanders will
Yeah.
start speaking in Finnish.
Something, yeah, exactly, right?
Danish.
So somebody's going to do something really stupid, but they're going to think they're connecting with the American people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for tonight.
How awesome would it be if Bernie Sanders just started speaking and the Swedish chef just came out in his podium? Migrant transition.
You know what it is? I mean, the entire two-day
that's
event
awesome.
has just been one giant, like, Burning Man of bullshit.
Yes.
I'd be shocked.
Pretty much.
It says live, Brodigan. I don't have a sense about- Oh, wait, hold on a second. By the way,
Yeah, break
we
that out already.
strongly expect, that's why you're not hearing the debate right now. It's a watch along, so tune in your TV to the
yeah.
debate or on YouTube because our stream could very likely be removed from NBC.
Speaking of which, didn't you have
which
an
wouldn't surprise
announcement?
me. So, Blaze, yeah, you can watch it tonight for free on Blaze TV and the app. Also, by the way, we just crossed 4 million subscribers.
Yes!
Young Turks gonna be pissed.
That's right, baby.
But there's some Armenians who are not rolling over in their graves.
No.
Yes.
Not at all.
They're actually, what is this? Why do we have music playing?
Yeah, man. We passed.
Oh, okay. I'm very
Yeah.
confused. Thank you very much, ladies. We appreciate
Very,
it.
very nice.
Thanks.
Yes.
I just...
Beer.
This is all foam.
It is. It is very foamy
Was
right
that
now.
was that Klobuchar's thing last night? She said, we have a saying in was it Minnesota? Did she say like we have a saying in Minnesota? Was she last night?
I fell asleep.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have a saying in Minnesota: all foam and no beer.
That's terrible. That's a horrible thing to say,
Exactly.
Minnesota.
I mean, at least go with a head joke.
No, she wasn't saying it about Minnesota. She was saying that she said it in Minnesota.
Oh. Well,
So
either way, it
you know,
sucks,
listen, this is
so.
one of those things. There are going to be 12 debates.
Wait,
So we've
what?
got to pace ourselves. This is the last show, by the way, of course,
Yes.
before we're going to be on break up until
is.
August 1st. And this is our last
Wow.
time in the studio. But we are going to have masterclass with David Barton up
Yes.
next week. So we have like 5 to 10 videos that are going up during this
Yeah.
this little hiatus.
And if you haven't seen David Barton, you really do have to watch his stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah,
like
it is
anybody
going to
out
be-
there is just kind of tuning into this stuff and you haven't seen it yet. Good stuff.
Well, here's the thing. I know it was a luck of the draw, right, as far as the candidates being on
Yeah.
either night. But what a crappy draw. I mean, last night
Oh,
was
man.
just,
Oh,
it was
man.
just Elizabeth Warren
Yeah,
and
pretty
everybody
much.
else.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we were planning on doing this both nights.
We were. And then we
Yeah.
said, it's just Warren on night one.
That's it. That's
Who's-
really it.
Okay, obviously we have Michael, is it Bennett?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Michael
thought-
Bennett.
I thought it was
if
Michael.
you say so.
We have Bennett. We have Swalwell.
Swalwell.
I can't wait to make fun of him.
Mr.
He's-
Swallows.
Eric
He's
Swallows.
my dark, not
Sorry,
dark horse. He's
Buckgig.
my favorite.
And then yesterday, though, they had that other guy. Was it Ainsley? I always forget that guy. I don't even know
Oh,
who
I
he
don't
is.
know.
And then we
Who
have
knows?
Williamson tonight. As far as I understand,
Ah.
please, someone let me know. As far as I
Why is
understand
she
it,
there?
she wrote some kind of a book on pseudo-spirituality.
Yeah.
And how many of these people do you think are just trying to sell books? That's honestly what I'm wondering at this point.
Well, I mean, basically, it's just for popularity's sake. So you can do something else and make money off of it outside. There's no way some of these
Yeah.
people polling at 0.1% are going to have any kind of shot.
That's the thing. Out of like the 217 people running,
Yeah.
maybe 5 actually have a shot at winning the nomination. There are people like Booker and Kirsten Gillibrand who I loathe.
Oh,
yeah.
of course, you should.
Who think they're special enough where they should win, but no one else likes them. And then there's everyone else who figures they can get a job on like MSNBC or write a book.
I mean, name a
or
candidate here.
CNN.
Name a candidate that doesn't have like this huge Achilles heel. Like huge.
Bernie. He's
No,
all Achilles heel.
Ah, I see what you did there, jerk. Right? No, that's
Not
absolutely.
funny.
That wasn't all bad.
Why-
It was all bad.
Again? Really?
Yes.
This is starting
It's going to be a
off
long
so
night.
rough.
I would just love it if right away they came out and Bernie started speaking Spanish.
That would be great.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yo no habla español, but me gusta tacos. I don't. You know, I
That
think
would
honestly,
be
here's the,
perfect.
if you have to bet, obviously, smart money bets it's Biden, right?
Yeah.
But I think that
be
if it's
somebody
Biden versus they're bringing them out. Are they bringing them out?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
A
really
little bit
tell.
of
Oh, that's
backstage.
there you go. Look at Bernie got a haircut. He didn't
Bernie.
brush his.
He combed his hair.
Holy
found his
Bernie.
comb.
He didn't brush his hair with a balloon.
Joe Biden
Look at
was-
Yang. Yang's walking out. Look at. Did you see Yang? His little fictitious lat spread. He was like walking out there like a Mexican boxer.
Not wearing a tie.
All right, let's bring up some of the volume here.
Yeah.
We're going to be really careful tonight because we might get taken down, so we can't show it full screen.
Oh, I do like that he's not wearing a tie there.
Wait, how are they out there 7 minutes before debate time? Are they
They're
going to
going to
just
wait
send them
for
back on
7
in?
minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I gotta say, Yang looks pretty tight.
I got to say,
No tie.
You know?
butt
pretty laid
gig
back.
smaller than a man named Yang. Nothing
Oh
like,
my gosh, he is.
Nothing like perpetuating the original stereotype, butt gig.
Well,
And Bernie
Biden's
just looks
not
like he's
very big.
shrinking into his suit like Tom Hanks in Big at the end.
I love it. Walking down the street.
I still
long
can't believe
arms
Bernie
long.
combed his hair.
Yeah, that's
Swalwell.
crazy.
That guy's going to
Swallow.
do something. He's going to
Eric
say
Swallows.
the dumbest or funniest thing tonight. That's my
Well, here's
bet.
the thing. He's desperate. It's like a desperate
Oh, of
fighter.
course.
So
Yeah.
expect the second tier people to come out and just be like,
Just swing.
the Jews did 9/11. You know?
Yeah.
Just to
That
try and
would
steal
be
the
kind of
headlines.
thing,
Well,
yeah.
I guess during the Republican primary, when we had 150 candidates,
Right.
The debate was a matter of like what one person's going to break out. Because our very first debate, it was Carly Fiorina had that really good performance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
She worked her way up to the main stage.
Look
Right.
at him. You know he has a stylist, Bernie, now. Look, that's a whole different look. That's a
We
whole
need to
different
make you look
tie.
We gotta get
Young
a makeover over
Someone
here.
said,
Right.
Bernie, listen, we are going to, you
gonna love it.
shifted the direction
You're
of
gonna
the party. And this is one thing I will say, I agree with the Young Turks. They were telling me how last night you could see Bernie's fingerprints all over the debate.
Yeah.
It is true. The party has gone so much further to the left.
Yeah.
Remember when they asked
Yeah,
Bernie, they
it's
said,
Yeah.
what do you think the most serious national security threat is in the last election? And he said, climate change. And everyone laughed.
Right.
Yesterday, everyone was like, me too,
That's-
climate
Yes.
change.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I think-
default.
Which doesn't make a sense because the Democrats are in a position where, well, at least with the current president, is not one of the most popular guys in the world. Where
Right.
if
Yeah.
you're ever going to like make a tack for the middle to try and peel off some more
It's
votes,
not hard.
in 3 states.
Yeah.
Instead, they're going straight on to like
Yep.
the most bat poop crazy
Right.
leftist side
Well,
of
they
the
think they're going to
politics.
have success because of people like AOC. So I don't think it's just Bernie. I think it's because he's got somebody like AOC who really is just a dumpster fire that people are watching.
Again,
right?
the only reason AOC is elected is because she ran in New York City. A ham sandwich
I
would
know.
get elected.
Well, we
in New
do
York
want
City
you
if
to.
you're a
We do want you to
Democrat.
send it. By the way, the most American thing you can think of, and actually, we did
Do
it.
it.
We did it ourselves.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, I think do we have it? We have it live actually right now.
Very nice.
We go to one of the most American things we could think of for cultural appropriation. We have a concentration cam.
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, we go now live to our concentration cam. Yeah.
Señor Crowder, alguien, yo tengo hambre. Alguien, please, por favor. Yo no quiero hacer aquí.
We're gonna get
That's Bill Clinton's
that's
fault with the
letters.
Flores consent policy.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And it was Obama who built
Wasn't
this.
it?
These
Oh,
shadows
you know.
are what they are. Do not blame me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then that was obviously someone who's been in the cage since Obama put him there, since
Right.
Obama started it, and he wants our help.
But he
I'm
had
in
a
the cage that
lollipop.
Obama put there. It's called the economy.
Oh,
I feel
you.
great shame.
Fantastic, sir.
Tim from HR just walked in. Did we already
Nice,
get taken
fine.
down?
He's
Please don't
fine.
tell me we got taken down.
Oh,
All right,
okay,
no,
okay.
All right, are they asking them questions? What are they doing? They're just standing here very awkwardly.
They're
so
posing
we
for
are prepped.
pictures.
By the way, tonight we have. I bet you they're going to talk, of course, border crisis, climate change, abortion, economy, education, election interference, guns, healthcare, immigration, slave reparations, universal child care. Because
Yeah.
slave reparations is mainstream now.
Yes.
Hey.
Well, it is now.
I'm
Now that
waiting.
It just came
What-
out, right?
Who is operating this camera? Did they just get the guy from The Wire? What happened? If they're just doing this whole zoom in
Oh my
handheld
gosh.
deal.
It's the same guys who sought Queen. What was it? Bohemian Rhapsody. I always want to say Queen because
What are you
it is
talking
Queen.
about?
No, the camera's just going back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that shot where it's
Remember?
just constantly.
Constantly moving around, and you're
Like
like,
this?
I'm gonna throw up.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Conversation?
I thought my
Like
Wire
this?
reference was better timed. This
No.
thing, literally, look
Mine
at this.
was
Can you
better.
guys see this was all foam?
Yeah, mine's gone down too.
This
Right?
entire well,
It's a
listen, I
sad
have to
day.
pace myself because the drinking game tonight. It's always a
gonna
lot
be
of fun. Of course, we're not liable if you
Puke?
if you
Not our fault.
get alcohol poisoning.
Because we're not bartenders.
What happens if I puke on electrical equipment that then can't takes the
I
show
will
down?
end you.
Use your beard as
You're
a puke
fired.
I
guard.
won't free you if you don't shut up.
All right, fair enough.
So I'm trying to think here when we talk about how some of these people are racing super far to the left or quickly to the left. Pick one person on that stage tonight. One person who you would say, when they talk about the current Democratic Party, and they try to say that they're a party that's a wider tent, one person there, probably Biden, who would have reasonable points of view, who would be more of a centrist.
Maybe so. I think
maybe Solo.
I was going to say
definitely not him.
Yang.
I don't know. Yang?
Yang, bro.
Yang wants $1,000 for every man, woman, and child.
I know that, but there's a lot of libertarians out there that might feel like that's not a bridge too far. So I don't think he's mainstream by any means, but I think he's going to identify more with the mainstream.
You know, if I'd have rented you for the evening for a lookalike, I'd send you back. I'd let you send me the retarded Abraham Lincoln.
I said not the retarded.
They would say, sir, do you have any proof of faulty Abraham Lincoln? He said Andrew Yang was moderate. They'd be like, all right.
You know what it is? I
look at him, sir.
That's a turkey that won't be pardoned.
I said he came off.
The funny thing is, I think Hickenlooper and Bennett are actual moderates, but I don't know which one's Hickenlooper and which one's Bennett.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much, sweetheart. Something I find hilarious. Did you know that Pete Buttigieg, you just saw, he's smaller than Yang, right?
Yeah.
You saw Pete Buttigieg, smaller than Yang. By the way, people say don't criticize him for his sexuality. Criticize him for his ideas. Okay, let me ask you this. Everyone here, Pete Buttigieg.
All right, his ideas are gay.
What are his ideas? What do you know about Pete Buttigieg?
Gun control.
How much you want to guarantee he talks about being a gay man tonight? No one knows anything about Pete Buttigieg except for the fact that he's gay.
Yes.
He was a gay guy in the military. Good for him. But if you think he's feminine, you think he's small, which he is, granted. Yeah. Do you realize that his husband took his name? So his husband, think about this. There is a man out there who ditched his maiden name to become Mrs. Buttigieg.
Hey.
Well, that's commitment right there.
It's a true
do you
story.
flip a coin? Like, how do you determine that? This is a genuine question for any gay couples.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Potentially, like,
that's what it is.
I honestly don't know.
Awkward. You should know these things.
I'm wondering.
We should
I
all
thought
know.
they'd switch off every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm wondering when it comes to who proposes, do they just whoever thinks of it first?
I have no idea.
Somebody takes that role. Somebody's got to, I guess. I don't know.
You know,
I feel like I don't know enough about this culture.
You definitely don't know enough.
I don't want to know. If you send me on a special report anywhere to find out more, I will be pissed off.
No, we're going to send you to San Francisco just to actually monitor the fecal.
Okay, I'll do it.
Fecal chart.
As long as I can drive right up the road in Napa Valley, baby.
We have 1 minute. By the way, this is something else. Before we get into this, because we're going to be talking about pure policy when we get to the debates, and that's going to be wildly unfun. But did you see that San Francisco not only banned Juul cigarettes, but by the way, their home is San Francisco, and vaping products and nicotine. Not only do they ban it for sale in San Francisco, they banned shipping.
Really?
Nicotine products to San Francisco.
Huh?
What are they focusing on?
You can go in as a tranny and take a dump on a fake mustache in a little girl's room, walk out, smoke a joint, take a crap in the street, but the second you grab a vaping product, you're kicked out of city lines.
That's incredible. The things they choose to care about baffle me.
Doesn't baffle me at all.
It baffles me.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Even if people are being idiotic, right? It's still baffled.
Okay, can we bring up the sound a little bit there, audio, Wade? Just so we can see. I want to know when they start asking the questions. This is really awkward that they're making them stand out there. Do you think that's because of the fault last night? Did you see that?
They're like,
can
you give us a few minutes to do audio checks?
Yeah, it was just like backstage was
creepy joke. Can
Chris
you check?
Matthews taking a piss.
Right.
In his
Cut
pants.
to the cam in the back, please.
It's like, what was it, Naked Gun 33 and a third, where he's in the bathroom?
That was what happened last night. That was what happened. Yeah, the mics kept going. They were like, we have to go to a break, because you could hear other people's mics
I
still
didn't
on.
hear the other mics.
Yeah, it was wildly embarrassing.
Whatever.
And so if I have to bet, probably Biden. I think Bernie probably beats Donald Trump in a general. I hate to say it. I think he's the one who would have the highest likelihood. I'll explain to you why in a second. Oh, look, Lester Holt, commonly known as, what race is that guy?
Question mark, man.
That is a little.
I think a lot of people picture Quarter Black Garrett. They think the picture in your wallet of your father is Lester Holt.
Aw,
the one that just comes with the stock wallet.
I'm sorry, Dad. He's watching this right now.
And Chuck Todd always looks like a family of caterpillars just went right onto his beard and just laid a bunch of eggs.
Oh my gosh!
Look at this guy, Pete Buttigieg.
Boo!
If
you should know a lot about Gillibrand.
I know we don't want to place too much emphasis on being presidential, but if your headshot makes you look like Ben Shapiro would kick the crap out of you in a street fight,
Swallow
probably
just
should
looks
switch.
So funny to me. This is hilarious.
What, Andrew Yang? What do they take a picture? His picture on an old flip camera phone?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, bro.
He's trying to be more relatable, Steven. No tie.
Actually, by the way, Andrew Yang is going to be on the show.
Gerald, what are you doing?
Sometime here soon.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Is there something not going out with the stream? I see Tim from HR here fixing
something.
something.
Tim from HR is just doing
All right,
HR
okay, let's
thing.
bring up the sound a little bit so we can hear this. Let's go to the debates.
Who's first?
Send in most of it. Hashtag CrowderDebateStream.
Yes.
Watch along because we have to keep the volume kind of in and out because we never know if we're going to be removed.
Spirits of
They just have cameras on them.
Right. I will say Lester Holt, though, always dresses nicely. He does have good suits.
Yes.
He's got a good tailor.
And then he ruins it with those Harry Potter glasses.
With that face?
Wow.
No, I think Les Paul's a very dapper gentleman. Listen, why are you saying, is this all going to be ad hominem? No, it's just nothing else has happened yet.
Yes, we're waiting.
And honestly, this is how it starts.
That's what we got. Yes, we're just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
He looks like Chuck Schumer had sex with a G.I. Joe. Look at Williamson. That's the face of a crazy woman. That's the face of a crazy woman. That's the face of
You
a kind of
recognize
girl
it
who
a little.
boils your pet rabbit. Like, I would expect before the first question, she'd be
Right.
like, "Yo soy Espanol!"
I swear somebody. Swalwell's my candidate that's going to speak Spanish tonight. He's my guy.
All right, let me hear. I can't hear
love him.
it that much, so let's...
To a minimum, and we're not going to hold back in making sure the candidates stick to time. So
Yeah, that worked out like a charm last night.
It never works. And they don't say anything.
to it, and we're going to start today with Senator
bunch of
Sanders.
blowhards.
Good evening to you. You've called for big new government
Sanders.
benefits like universal health care and free college. In a recent interview, you said
He calls for med. Oh, that's right. Universal health care, free college. By the way, 2 drinks, everybody.
Jeez, that's 2.
Things like that. My question to you is, will taxes go up for the middle class in a Sanders administration? And if so, how do you sell that to voters?
Of course they will. They absolutely have to. Let's hear his answer.
You're quite right. We have a new vision for America. And at a time
By the way, how's your
when we
vision,
have
Bernie?
3 people in this country owning more wealth than the bottom
2035.
half of America, while 500,000 people are sleeping out on the streets today, we think it is time for change, real change.
No, we don't.
And by
No,
that I mean,
you do.
Hold on a second. Let me hear.
healthcare,
I want
in my view, is a human right.
Human right.
And we
Human right.
empower
Gosh.
there it is.
Medicare for
Gosh,
all
human right. Drink.
via system. Under that system, by the way,
he's not answering the question. Do you notice that? He's not answering the question at all. The question was, would middle-class Americans see a tax raise under a Bernie administration?
Well, I mean,
hold on a second. Spoiler alert. Yes. The answer should be this. Of course, you filthy bitch!
Yeah.
Have you seen any of my prior installments?
But that's the dumb thing with these glorified joint press conferences. None of them answer the questions because they're talking to everyone at home.
Right.
Wall Street, drink.
Wall Street,
Wall
drink.
Street.
Jeez. And billionaire.
By the way, guys, this is a watch along, so turn your TV to the whatever station.
Yeah, we
live
can't
MSC,
run the full
MSNBC over there.
volume
Yeah.
because of
So watch along on one of the
Here
TVs.
you go. She's asking again.
In a Sanders administration.
People who have health care under Medicare for All will have no premiums, no deductibles,
Oh,
no
Lord.
co-payments.
That has nothing to do with taxes. Those are private services.
Expenses.
Yes.
They will pay
I
more
understand you asked a
There
question.
you go.
There
They
you
will
go.
pay more in
Whoa.
taxes. Okay, and here, by the way, this is something that's really important to note. When people say it's a tax break for the wealthy, okay, we've talked about this, and I think we have this even. We can bring it up as an overlay at some point here tonight. When you look at Americans, and specifically you look at the bottom 20%, not only do they pay nothing in taxes, but when you look at the federal transfers that they see, they pay net negative, meaning federal transfers, welfare, public programs, food stamps, things like that they get. They pay a net negative of 58%.
Yeah.
All the way up through the middle class, there's a net negative that they pay on income tax.
Yeah.
Then you have the top 20% pay 30% of their income in taxes. 47% of Americans pay no federal income tax whatsoever. So when people say this is a tax break for the rich, it is necessarily a tax break for that remaining half America who pay taxes and don't have net federal transfers.
Right.
This is the big lie that they don't want to tell you. That's why Bernie Sanders doesn't want to answer that question. Every single person would have to pay more in taxes. You want to know how someone would pay more in taxes, okay, in the middle class? If they paid 1%, they'd be paying more in taxes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, they're asking Biden, is he even saying something worth listening to?
Return dignity to the middle class. They have to have insurance that is covered and they can afford
That
it.
your
They have
party,
to make
your
sure that
administration
we're in a
destroyed.
situation where there's continuing education and they're able to pay for it. And they have to make sure that they're able
Oh my goodness.
That's a little crazy.
That's a lower third. I thought it was a tea kettle. Hold on. I do want to hear what he's saying.
Trump has put us in a horrible situation. We do have enormous income inequality. And the one thing
income inequality.
massive cuts in the $1.6 trillion in tax loopholes.
Yeah, Donald Trump has put us in a horrible situation. 50-year unemployment low. Highest job participation rate that we've seen in decades. We have more jobs than there are people to fill them.
Yes. I know.
This is one thing. Here's the thing. Right now, there's no doubt that economic opportunity is better than ever before.
Right.
The only way that you don't buy that is if you give in to envy and say, yeah, but that CEO has more.
Right.
The entire spectrum of answers right now have just been based on the 7 deadly sins. It's gluttony, envy,
Yeah.
lust, I'm sure. I saw someone looking at Williamson. Someone get Kevin Spacey with the palladium strap on.
That benefits the top 1%.
Okay, hold on. What'd she say? What'd she said?
Blah, 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 top 1% drink.
$1 trillion to the debt of America, which middle-class families will pay for.
That's the drinking sound, by the way.
One of the ladies to, I'm already out.
You need a fresh one?
It's frustrating.
Sweetie, can we get a refill?
By the way, she's half Indian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Her? Have been written
No, yeah, her. Come on,
the
here.
people who have the most and not in favor of the people who work the most, which is why
What?
I am proposing that we change the tax code.
So what?
For every
Hold on a
family
second.
that is making less than
People who work the most.
$100,000 a year,
Does anyone out there know right now the average work hours per week for Americans?
all the difference.
Whoa,
No.
34 hours.
Get through the end of the month with
34 hours. That's the
34 hours
average amount of
average?
time worked for the average American worker right now. I haven't seen a 34-hour week since 20.
Wait, what is that?
That's a 34-hour work week. And literally, Dumb and Dumber, they were mocking them and said, there's not a job in this town. Yeah, unless you want to work 40 hours a week. And everyone was laughing back then. We're like, they think they'll work less than 40 hours a week. Today, the average work week is 34 hours.
Wow. That's insane. By the way, she
Who is
said
that?
she
Who
was
is
day
that guy?
one.
Who is that guy?
I don't even
Who
know.
is that man?
As a democratic socialist.
It's Applejack. You know him.
Who's that man?
That's Applejack. Come on, you
I had it
know
on
him,
the ready.
man. Oh, that is Hickenlooper.
Hickenlooper.
Oh man, that's a rug that would give Frank Luntz a run for his money.
I'm serious. Who is this?
Okay,
guy?
now is this
Never heard of him.
toupee? Would you say you approve? Hands up, or disapprove? Approve? Disapprove.
Disapproves, have it.
We can't promise every American a government job. If we want to get universal health care coverage, I believe that health care...
Can't promise every American government job. Bernie's like,
Healthcare.
works for me!
Universal healthcare.
private insurance for
He said it.
100
Isn't that one of the words?
people, many of whom don't want to give it up. In Colorado, we
Where's my
brought businesses and nonprofits together. We got near universal health care coverage. We were the first state in America to bring the environmental community and the oil and gas industry
maybe it's not.
to address...
It's Colorado, right?
Yeah,
methane
former
emissions.
governor.
Wait, what does this have to do with health? Look at Yang. He looks so bored. I don't know if that's
done
bored
with this,
or if that's
man.
just resting Asian face.
Where's half Asian lawyer Bill when you need him to really weigh in?
I feel like they might have some facial recognition software.
Done what pretty much everyone else up here is still talking about doing.
Governor, thank you, Senator
Hickenlooper's going to lose this election because
Yeah.
he couldn't be bothered with white strips.
What is your response to those who think
It's back to Bernie already?
socialist would re-elect
He looks
Donald Trump?
perpetually confused.
Well,
I'm sorry, what?
The responses at the polls, last poll I saw had us 10 points ahead of Donald Trump because the American people understand that Trump is a phony.
Really?
That Trump is a pathological liar and a racist. And that
Oh,
he
really?
Ah, racist, racist.
Aw, man.
American people during his campaign. He said he was
Here's the
gonna
thing.
stand
Of
up
all the
working
criticisms to
families.
lob at Donald Trump, racist is not one of them. It doesn't work.
No.
No one really buys the whole racist thing.
No, I
There's
wouldn't
that one
think so,
story
dude.
like 20 years ago in the hotel. But come on.
What happened in a hotel? Is that where he raped his wife?
No. Oh, gosh. Oh, come on.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm just saying, like, if I were a Democrat, I would toss that in there. I'd toss that in there. You know,
They don't go
someone
for the
runs a
easy
search,
stuff.
there's reasonable doubt, right? I wouldn't go into racist. No one buys it
Pay
anymore.
attention to me.
Right, exactly.
Meghan McCain lost weight.
There's a big difference between capitalism on the one hand and greed on the other. And so all the things that we're trying
Greed
to change
is good.
Hold on a second. Why is it greedy, right? Why is it greedy for someone who's created jobs and earned wealth to keep it, but it's not
Right.
greedy for Bernie
Yeah.
to take it?
Because
Bernie, by
Christian
the way,
Gillibrand
let's not act
says-
as though when Bernie takes it, he's giving it to charity. Less than 3%. Multimillionaire, less than 3% to charity.
Exactly. Probably wrote off his underwear
Scrooge
donation
McDuck
too.
thinks he's a prick.
Yeah. No, I
just can't wait for President Kirsten.
Oh my gosh.
And Vice President Stacey Dash.
They're just throwing out all of these things without any evidence. They're just saying these things are bad and I can fix them by changing the economy in
All right,
this
what's his
kind
question?
of way.
Wait, now who's that guy?
That's Bennett.
Oh, all right.
We back to Bennett.
Oh, wait.
Well, he's from Colorado. He's probably high.
I thought Hickenlooper was Colorado.
Senator Hickenlooper's governor, former governor. This is senator.
Years of no economic growth for 90% of the American people.
That's bullshit. I'm sorry. That is bullshit. This is one of the biggest lies that you hear out here. They say, and they talked about this last night.
Yeah.
There hasn't been economic growth. First off, there's more economic opportunity today in America than there has been in over half a century. Now, what they try to say is average earnings hasn't gone up. No. What they use is a metric, average hourly earnings, okay?
Yeah.
And they say that hasn't gone up. It really hasn't gone up that much when adjusted adjusted for inflation, it's remained pretty constant. But you know what has gone up 5% year over year? It's average individual income. That's the important measurement. In other words, for example, everyone here, right, who's worked at this company, Quarter Black Garrett, Audio Wade, Too Cute Maddie, we have a Colombian Maddie there. I want to ask about Beto's Spanish in not too long.
Right,
They move up within the company. Now, if you're a PA at the company, that job is still worth the same amount. Of course, it gets an increase because of inflation. That being said, people in this company make more money. Flipping burgers at McDonald's is still worth about the same amount. It still presents the same amount of value. But individuals consistently make more. And the reason there's a big difference between average hourly earnings versus individual income is it takes into account how long you've been into a job, how young you are, and the longer you live, the longer you've been at a company, you kind of hit this arc, right? And I think we have this as an overlay. Too Cute Maddie can bring this up. There's an arc, and there's a chart that shows people get huge raises at the middle portion of their career. They start off, it stays pretty stagnant. Then they move up, and when they get older, it remains relatively stagnant because now they're in the upper echelon of earnings. This idea that Americans do not earn more is not true. And I want you to tweet me. Tweet me at @SCrowder. Use the Crowder hashtag, CrowderDebateStream, and let me know if you've worked in the same job for 10 years or more if you have not seen an increase. That's why I don't think this is going to work, because people go, well, hold on a second. I know that's not true.
Yeah, and he's saying that only 10% of Americans are really benefiting from this economy. Are you serious? When unemployment goes down, who do you think got employed?
Hold on, butt gig,
Student debt. It's logical to me that if you can
Student debt.
refinance your house, you ought to be able to refinance your student debt.
He didn't say get rid of it.
Don't we have a lower third for butt gig?
For low and middle income students, for whom cost
there it
could
is.
be a barrier.
What did he say?
Frank.
What did he say?
I don't believe it makes sense
Oh, yeah.
to
Frank,
ask
sorry.
working class families to subsidize even the children of billionaires. I think the children of
They
the
pay
wealthiest
a net
Americans can pay at
negative
least a
of
little
20
bit
to
of tuition
50% in taxes. This is what's crazy to me. Listen, I understand that you don't like billionaires. I get it, right? They have a lot of stuff. People are jealous. You don't like billionaires. You think they're dicks. Understood. But the fact is, an average lower middle class American is being subsidized by the wealthy class. They're not subsidizing billionaires. They're receiving more federal transfers than they're paying in income tax. 47% of Americans don't pay federal income taxes. That's what killed Romney's campaign. Remember, everyone got furious with him where he said 47% of Americans don't pay federal
Mother
income tax.
Jones or whatever.
Everyone
like
should
that.
pay something.
Yeah.
How about
absolutely.
2%? How about 2?
Anything.
Guess what? You'd see an entirely different voting bloc.
Yes, you would.
For the same reason they don't want there to be voter ID, because they know that they would see an entirely different voting bloc, right? No, we couldn't possibly be bothered to make sure that people are citizens on the census or to vote in the next representative of the United States, the next most powerful leader of the free world. For that same reason, they don't want people to pay taxes. Because if people pay taxes, guess what? Democrats never win again.
No. I want to hear this guy.
Gang,
gang.
A month, no questions asked.
That's
right.
UBI.
I think that's like $3.2 trillion a year.
I like him just because he's a wrestling fan.
How would you do that?
Sorry?
It's difficult to do if you have companies.
What?
like
Me so
Amazon,
sorry.
tech companies
Don't
paying
ask,
Me so
zero
sorry.
taxes while they're closing 30% of our stores. Now, we need to put the American people in position to benefit from all these innovations in other parts of the economy. And if we had a value-added tax at even half the European level,
Oh, gosh, here we
that
go.
just tells you we need people to see benefits from innovation. Typically, innovation is a benefit in and of itself.
Yeah.
We would spend the money and it would circulate through our regional economies and neighborhoods, creating millions of jobs, making our
Millions,
families
huh?
stronger and healthier.
Hold on a second. Here's a question. How does that fix it? Right? He says, right, people are, these innovations are hurting people. And if we give them $1,000, they'll spend it in their local economies. Or people will take $1,000. They could spend it on anything. They could spend it on drugs. They could spend it on booze. Or they could also, as most people are doing now, spend it on Amazon.
Yeah.
How do you know they're going to a local craft brewery?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
Yeah.
people, the market has spoken.
Yeah.
People benefit from the
They don't
innovation.
want you to
People
spend your
benefit
money
from
the way you
convenience.
want.
Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. And
Bottom
we're about to
line.
do the same thing to millions of retail jobs, call center jobs, fast food jobs, truck driving jobs, and on and on through the economy.
Mr. Ryan, if I get you understand a little bit better, so you're saying $1,000 a month for everyone over 18, but a value-added tax, so you can spend that $1,000 on value-added tax?
Well, the value-added tax would end up, you'd still be increasing the buying power of the bottom 94% of Americans. You have to
This
spend
is
a
why
lot
there's
of money
internet
come on.
famous and there's reality.
Right, yeah.
$1,000 a year per individual. So for the
By the way,
average
they
family
tried
with
this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in Canada
Canada,
and
yeah.
Sweden. Was it Canada, Sweden, and Denmark? And they
Yeah.
immediately stopped it.
Yeah, they were
it was
supposed
a
to be-
horrible program. People were something like 40 4% of people
Yeah.
dropped out from the workforce.
Yeah,
and
less
just
likely
stopped
to go to
working.
work.
Yeah, they were less
and it was
likely to go to
supposed
work.
to be a 3-year program, and they stopped it after like 15 to 18 months, something like that. It was
They said this is not
ridiculous.
working well.
Yeah.
Turns out giving people free money because some Asian guy said so.
It's a really bad idea.
This is really not a good way to run the economy.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Well, and look, there's a video out there, I think on Amazon or Netflix about
Now, is he an
innovation.
African or a European Swalwell?
You know, I don't know what he looks
Damn
like.
you! I'm going to interrupt you.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm sorry, Jared. I want to hear your point.
No. I just think that innovation. It's like bank tellers being pissed off that ATMs came around, right?
Right.
It's all of these like horse and carriage people basically got pissed off at the car. Okay, did that add net jobs to the economy or did it take away?
By the way, we could also have people dig ditches with spoons. You'd have a hell of a lot of
yeah.
that. With the ATM,
a lot of people
I remember when I was a kid, I thought the ATM, I just called it the money machine.
Yeah.
And I just remember when my parents said we can't afford that. I would say, well, go to the money
ATM,
machine.
right?
Interesting
Yeah,
fact.
it's free stuff.
Bernie Sanders still thinks that.
He never grew out of that, right? He never figured that one out.
Hold on a second. This is going to cost us $18 trillion. Just go to the money machine.
Right.
You punch in. No. Well, hold on a second. I don't think you understand. I don't have anything to withdraw. No. You just need to punch in the 4-digit code. That's not how it works, Bernie.
No, perhaps I'm not explaining myself clearly. There's a machine that gives you money. One would say that's its sole purpose, is to dispense cold, hard, slutty cash.
Hey, look, Biden's on, and he's not raping anybody.
Yes. Oh, give him time. Give him time.
Swalwell's like, I wish you looked at
Turn
me
it
the way
up.
you
I
look
want
at
to
a
hear this. I want to
6-year-old.
see what the interchange is here. Or
Every
exchange.
single person who graduates from high school, 65 out of 100 now need something beyond high school, and we should provide for
Do
them
you
to
know
be able
why?
to
It's called a
get that
job.
education.
Thank
That's
God there's a
why there
surplus.
should be free community college. Couldn't even have a position where we do not have anyone have to pay back a student debt when they get out. They're making less than $25,000 a year. Their debt is
Hold on.
frozen, no interest payment until they get beyond that.
Time out. If you go to college and graduate and make less than $25,000 a year,
That's on you, buddy.
Okay, that
is
you took a
all
loan
on
out
you.
for.
That is all on
Yes.
you.
I took out a $100,000 loan. I can only find a job for $25K.
I do like that we went from Hickenlooper's Jafar in the prison teeth to dentures on Biden. It's a very nice contrast.
Well, look, he talks about people needing something beyond high school. You know why that became a thing, right? A high school diploma used to mean something in this country, right? And I know there's been innovations and the demand for skills, but then it became college. Okay, everybody has to be shoved into college right now, and we have to subsidize it, which makes all the rates go up. And now you have useless college degrees, so it's postgraduate degrees now. That
What is
everybody's
Bernie? Hold on,
asking
Bernie's
for.
yelling about something.
The big money interests who have
Tell me he doesn't look like an angry old man there. Yeah.
over the economic and political life of this country.
These issues
Swallow.
Senator Harris, I'm so sorry.
Uh-oh.
Senator Harris. Senator Harris. Please, we will let you all speak. Senator Harris.
No, you won't.
Senator Harris, would you like to comment on the fact that your career was started by sleeping with a mayor? What? Samosas. We continue on to the next.
Oh, they don't want to see a food fight. They want to know how we're going to put food on the table. And she gets an applause.
Are they going
for
to a break?
She gets an applause.
That sounds like they played a bump.
Part of the issue that is at play in America today, and we've all been traveling around the country, I certainly have.
Here's the thing that I know a lot of young people, right? They're in the Bernie Bros,
forgot who it
the
was.
Yang Gang. I really feel like they're pandering to losers tonight. Honestly, here's the big difference between this and Republic. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, you say he's lying, but guess what? His lie is predicated on the idea you believe that he's lying to you and telling you that you can be independent. It's great, isn't it? Right? The economy's great. Everyone, you can go out there and make your dreams come true. Like, he's lying. Whereas these people are telling people that they cannot make it, that everything is stacked against them. So even then, what do they have to do? They have to, in order to win your votes, they have to keep you poor.
Yeah.
They have to keep you uneducated and fat and a marginalized class. That's why they keep inventing them by the day. It is remarkable to me. Why are they not talking about the vast majority of Americans who pay off their debt either immediately or don't accrue student debt? Who work their way through college? What about those people? By the way, you want to talk about people who are paying a net negative income tax because of the federal transfers, right?
Slaves.
They're paying less than they're actually receiving. Let's make students pay 2% income tax.
Hey.
Yeah. This entire debate thus far has pandered to people who pay no tax, who contribute nothing to this economy. And if you were to watch this, you'd go, hold on a second. I get free school, I get free healthcare, and $1,000 in my pocket. So someone who started watching this debate going, man, I have to make some life decisions. Maybe the underwater gender studies basket weaving at a local college isn't the right way to go. I should straighten up and fly right. They tune into this and go, no, I'm confident with my choices.
Yeah, people
feel good about this.
People respond to the incentives that they're given, right? And if you make and I know people would say, oh, it's not an
and
easy way
they know
out.
that. That's why they want to ban Big Gulps and Juul cigarettes.
Yeah. They want more and more and more government control. They're telling you that you can't make it. Now, we're not talking about the extreme of somebody who has a legitimate reason why they're in poverty and all of the wonderful charity cases out there, or charity, not cases, but charities out there that help those people.
What did you say?
I did.
Bernie said,
"Ah! He said the word! I melt!"
Charity, yeah, exactly.
He said it again!
That word, don't say that word.
Right?
Charity.
Oh, God! It burns!
We're talking about giving money to everyone.
Well, not everyone, just the people who are going to vote for it.
No, universal basic income gives it to everyone. Now, you end up in a net loss if you're paying, a lot of money and you only get $1,000 back, but you're paying $20,000 a year because of the new taxes. You just talked about it being $3 trillion.
Don't worry, Bernie has it figured out.
And by the way, you know what happens with a VAT tax? If you pay a sales tax for your state, it's on top of that. And guess what? Name me one place that's ever had a VAT tax that's A, gone down or gone away. It never happens.
Speaking of vat, it smells like Brodigan bathed himself in a vat of gin this morning. You guys been early.
Got the party started early.
Hold on, butt cake.
Oh, turn the volume up.
It's very similar. I would call it Medicare for all who want it. You take something like Medicare, a flavor of that.
In other words, a public option.
Yes.
By the way, Medicare drink.
I just did. I was on it.
That will be not only a more inclusive plan, but a more efficient plan than any of the corporate answers out there.
Really?
And it will be a very natural glide path to the single-payer environment.
To destruction.
But remember, even in countries that have
glide path right into the wall,
into the ground.
Crash and burn.
Even there's still a private sector. That's fine. It's just that for our primary care,
actually, that's not necessarily true. It is now. For example, in Canada, when I was there in Canada, they weren't allowed to have private sector medicine. Right? It actually wasn't allowed. There was a Supreme Court case in 2005, Chouy versus Quebec, and what happened was there was this guy, Chouy, who was a doctor, and he was actually treating. This is true. Google this right now. Chouy versus Quebec. You can bring this up. So people need to understand the only reason they allowed privatized hospitals, they call them in Canada super hospitals, we call them in the United States hospitals. The only reason they opened them up was because so many people were dying in the face of wait lines, as you see in all socialized healthcare countries, by the way. They won't bring that up on the Young Turks. Objective measurements are worse in socialized healthcare countries. People were dying and they said, okay, Dr. Chouy, we'll pay you to take care of us, right? And he did. And he was fined and he was being shut down.
Really?
And the Supreme Court ruled it is a violation of human rights to not allow people who are essentially dying, right, in our current healthcare system to pay for healthcare. Yeah. And so it opened it up to privatized healthcare because there were a record number of deaths that, by the way, would not have occurred in the United States. So this idea that, well, it's the only reason they allow market-driven insurance in these other countries is because they have to. And it creates a two-tiered system.
Yes, their system fails. How many third world countries became great through socialism?
Haiti. All right, Biden.
What's the bar on that?
Secondly, to make sure that everyone does have an option.
Secondly.
Everyone, whether they have private insurance, employer insurance, or no insurance, in fact, can buy in the exchange to a Medicare-like plan.
That's what he's talking out of.
We can do it quickly.
I mean, I literally saw the difference between my dad's health care before Obamacare than my mom having to go through the same medical issues during Obamacare.
Right.
I'm against any Democrat who opposes that takes down Obamacare, and then a Republican who wants to get rid of Obamacare.
By the way,
that's a brave stance.
Yeah.
I oppose anyone who wants to take down Obamacare. Yeah. You got any kids?
All right, Bernie's about to get into this. Let's hear this.
None of the states that have tried something like that, California, Vermont, New York, has struggled with it.
Yeah, Vermont had to stop their program. That's what people don't realize. Vermont had basically a socialized healthcare program, a single-payer system, and they said that's not working.
Nope, can't do it.
That's a good thing. To believe that every other major country on earth, including my neighbor 50 miles north of me, Canada, somehow has figured out a way to provide health care to everyone.
Obviously, Canada didn't.
They provide crappy health care. It's like saying I provide a free lunch to everybody, and it's a ham sandwich or a turkey sandwich. By the way, it's actually just human shit in a sandwich.
But you've been provided with a lunch, so don't complain.
Be happy.
This is one thing, too. People will always say, and you see this in all the leftist websites, they say, well, their healthcare measurements are actually better. We're only ranked 36th or 46th in the United States. We're ranked underneath Colombia and right next to Slovenia, okay?
Yeah.
We're ranked below Cuba, by the way. These measurements come from subjective polling, where people say, yeah, I'm satisfied with my healthcare, but when you look at
it's free.
Are you more or less likely to die from serious diseases?
Yeah.
What are the wait times? Your best chance, here's the simple fact, okay? If you have a terminal illness, period, if you are on planet Earth, the single biggest determining factor in your survival, whether you're rich, poor, black, or white, is do you live in the United States?
Yeah.
That's it.
100%.
Now, is it expensive? Sure. Do we have a flawed system? Absolutely. But there is no doubt that the quality of care is not only better in the United States, but we're the only country, statistically, pretty much, that provides virtually all medical innovation.
Yeah.
Again, but that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. We're
It's a
talking about
bad thing.
innovation, whether it's Amazon or curing polio.
Right. But and it's a hard thing. It's almost impossible to go back from. Once you switch the system over, it's really hard to build it back up to what it used to be. It's really hard to go back to a system where I can go out and pick my own insurance company, because the insurance companies kind of go away to some degree in that, right? And the hospital system starts to degrade. So if Canada right now wanted to switch everything back over to kind of a free market system, they probably couldn't do it.
Oh, hold on, Williamson.
We've been talking a lot about access to health insurance.
Who's this?
But for many Americans,
we heard you wrote a book about yoga.
High cost of healthcare. How would you lower
So,
the cost
how's it selling?
of prescription
Not well, Lester.
First of all, the government should never have made the deal with the big pharma that they couldn't negotiate.
Oop,
That
here's
was
Big
just part
Pharma.
of the regular corruption by which multinational
Wasn't she in
corporations
SNL?
have their way with us. You know, I want
Maybe.
to say that while I agree with...
Oh, you know what? I forgot. We do have to go pretty soon. Hold on, I do want to hear Williamson, and then let's get Ruben on the phone. We have Dave Rubin coming up here.
Oh, nice.
Again, hashtag CrowderDebateStream. You can sign up for Mug Club. We don't have a discount code going right now because we're actually still backlogged with other mugs, and we're shipping those out. You can join up. Livewithcrowder.com/mug.
Beautiful.
Can I get one of the broads with a refill?
Broad?
We're just talking about the superficial fixes. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a health care system in the United States.
Really?
We have a sickness care system
Oh.
in the United States.
Which could be
We've been
fixed if you
waiting for
aligned your
somebody to get
chakras
sick, and
and
they're talking
rocked
about who's gonna pay
in a
for the
tantric
treatment
yogi
and how they're gonna
position.
be treated.
But
You put hot rocks on your
But whatever
chest.
you do, don't vaccinate yourself.
My nationalized healthcare solution. They list author. My national healthcare solution, Chinese cupping.
Not just health insurance companies. It
Oh
has
my
to do
gosh.
with chemical policies. It has to do with environmental policies. It has to do with...
Yes,
Nope,
yes.
her time has not expired, not in her eyes.
Fix the national healthcare crisis by getting rid of fracking, sweetheart.
Yes.
want to keep the system that we have in place with Obamacare and build
I feel like she needs to read Jordan Peterson's book.
Yes.
Let me know when we have Dave Rubin there on the phone.
Dave
And by the way, you've been hitting the lower
Rubin.
thirds there, Garrett?
Oh, yeah.
I can't say okay.
Oh,
I am.
Nice job.
Don't forget, we have our Black African American culture appropriations.
That's true. When they bring up, they're going to
Just let me
talk
know.
about reparations here.
Thanks
Oh,
to
boy.
He looks like he's always sucked on half a lemon.
I think that's what the American people want. I believe it will
I don't
give
want
us
you to
their-
screw up my healthcare system. Just leave it alone.
No, I don't think I need to leave it alone. I do think I need to fix
No,
it.
I mean, they need to keep their hands off it. Somebody else who's better equipped to handle this needs to be the one fixing it, not them. You guys, leave it alone. Stop.
When Senator Sanders
screwing it up.
says that Canada is single payer, there are 35 million people in Canada. There are 330 million people in the United States.
Oh, that's good
Easily
math.
The number of people
Easily,
on
man.
public option, they could- it
I'm
could
saying.
easily be
He looks like he had a stroke.
And for them,
Yeah, he does have stroke face.
Hey,
Medicare for all.
we don't know.
You don't know.
We don't know if we have
I
that.
don't want to go back to that after the dumpster fire fiasco.
That was
Right.
a
No,
that was a problem.
Dumpster fire.
Right here.
You're like, you realize he had shingles. I'm like,
son of
it's still funny.
Over and over again, unlike others that
Oh
have
my gosh.
supported this legislation, over and over again.
His mouth looks like Dana Carvey doing a character.
Except cosmetic.
That is
When we're talking about cosmetic procedures, man.
That is literally the greatest description I've ever heard of anything ever.
Doesn't it? Looks like
Yeah,
a Dana
it actually
Carvey mouth.
does.
I'd like to go a little longer there, but I want, but obviously.
Excuse me.
Look at
Excuse
Bernie.
me.
Look at the Bernie finger.
Excuse me.
Look at the Bernie finger. It looks like the cover of that movie. Was it movie Strangers?
Yes.
With the hitting the doorbell. That's Bernie's finger.
People don't like
It's a demon!
See, now I can't look at Bennett without thinking like Master of Disguise 2.
We will substantially lower the cost
2020.
of healthcare in this country because we'll stop the greed of the insurance companies.
Oh,
Green.
Yeah.
Green.
There we go.
I'm out.
We have to think about how this affects...
Swalwell. Somebody pay attention to me, please.
And
I'm here.
Because here's the
Witness
presumption.
me.
Insurance companies, right? they're all greedy. They only have a profit motive. But clearly, everyone on this stage, most of whom have never worked in the private sector a day in their life, outside of God lover Williamson, who wrote a wildly unsuccessful book, they all have inherently altruistic motives. So you would have to believe that every single person who works at an insurance company or a health sharing nonprofit, like we use with Liberty Healthcare, right?
Yeah.
You would have to believe that all of them are somehow evil, but everyone on this stage and the 42 others on stage last night are, because they have a D next to their name, are inherently good-hearted.
Yeah, absolutely. And know what they're talking about with this stuff. That this would actually work and make the outcomes better for everybody. And that's not true. It's never been proven anywhere.
As bad as insurance is, if I hate my insurance, right? If all of us probably have different insurance plans.
Yeah.
If I hate my insurance, I can go to another plan.
Yeah.
That being said, if they are president, certainly Bernie, and certainly not so. I'm trying to remember who has the Medicare for all versus universal healthcare versus public options. Half of them. Certainly Bernie, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris. If they had their way, if the plan sucks, they have nowhere to go.
Yeah. If people would just focus on reducing the cost of healthcare instead of worrying about insurance.
All right. We have a guest actually. I'm excited to bring him on.
Oh, really?
I'm interested. It's don't call him Pete Buttigieg. We have Dave Rubin on the show. Mr. Rubin, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Crowder. Can you repeat Mayor Pete's last name?
1 second. Can we get him through the speaker or no? Do I need a headphone? Hold on 1 second there, Rubin. Is there a way to get him coming out through the speaker?
We are working on that.
All right, 1 second, Dave Rubin. For some reason, I'm not hearing you. For 1 second. Look at him.
And the answer to that question is Buttgig. That's how we're pronouncing his name. I don't know.
By the way, I'm going to get rid of this because I keep clicking the stupid thing. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, his name is Buttgig.
Well,
that's how I pronounce it, just because.
Booty gig.
1 second. And if not, you can just blare it from your headphones, and I can probably hear them there, quarterback.
Right.
I want to hear what Buttgig is saying, because that'll be a good segue.
Program. And we do ourselves no favors by having 11 million undocumented people in our country be unable to access health care. The real problem is we shouldn't have 11 million undocumented people with no pathway to citizenship. It makes no sense. And the American people...
We should have audio.
Okay, all right. Senor Dave Rubin, are you there, sir?
Crowder, gracias, amigo. ¿Cómo estás?
I was going to say, how's your Spanish?
¿Dónde la biblioteca?
Dang it.
Sandler.
Me gusta.
Grande, la cabeza.
Me gusta ti trimmer set at George Clooney. What do? You just take the trimmer and set it at the George Clooney in Syriana? It's always the exact same length.
I feel very good about the trim. Well, I wanted to trim nicely for these fine Democratic presidential candidates.
He's well put together.
These people who in only a few minutes of watching this thing have taken all of my money.
Yes.
Yes.
And about a half, actually, no, sorry, it's 3/5 of the American economy. Let me ask you this, Dave, because you've obviously talked about formerly being of the Young Turks and a progressive. Back when you were more, or I guess a liberal and you're more of a classical, we get it, okay? Anyone here, would there have been at any point in your life, anyone up here who you think would have really appealed to you, who you would have voted for?
Well, it's funny because last night, which was such an absolute debacle and just not one interesting, remotely decent idea. You know, I tweeted out this thing like, are they banned from saying freedom or liberty or
of course
capitalism? Like, did the DNC say you just can't say that? When I was watching it last night, I really realized fully how far off the deep end these guys have got. I mean, out of this crew, you know, I had Yang on the show, and I think he's a pretty decent guy and has some interesting ideas. And by the way, he's against $15 minimum wage. It's not for college. I mean, he has some ideas of capitalism with rattling it, and I think he's a decent human. You know, Joe is more like an old school Democrat, which it's not really a point to be anymore. But
I thought you meant like Kennedy's and that, you know, they rape.
Oh.
Well, but
we're not going back to Camelot.
No, look, the rest of them, they think government is the answer to everything. They want your money. They think they know how to run their lives. There's no answer to any problem that they don't think involves government. And my answer to every problem would be just get the government out of my life. So, you know, here we are, man.
How do you feel Pete Buttigieg represents your community?
White people community? Do you mean?
I mean, practicing homosexual community.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a genuine question. When you got married, Dave, because by the way, I've spoken with your husband, and he's lovely. If you ever met, and he's also named Dave.
Okay,
it's Dave and Dave. It's like a cartoon. Sorry, I hope I'm not letting the cat out of the bag, but really fun guy. I want to party with that dude. You're okay too. But
for a party with someone dressed like that, for the record.
I have my charm. How did you guys determine did you both keep your names?
Well, technically, we could have flipped, right? And I could have taken his last name, and he could have taken my last name, which would have been quite bizarre. But no, we didn't do that. He goes by David anyway as a first name, and I go by Dave. So
okay,
I
meant last name because I found out that Pete, his husband, took his name. And so if you go and search him, his husband has a very long last name. And so I was listen, this is just a room full of sorry straight guys who were wondering how does that work, and it was just an ignorant question.
We just decided we were just going to keep our names. It's all good.
That makes it easy. Here's the thing. You just mentioned it sort of economically, right? They want to take all of your money and take over the economy. Now, it seems to me when you became more sort of, when you left the left, you say they left you. Yeah. You sort of came into it more so from a free speech angle. But it seems like you've gotten, I hate to use the word progressively, more sort of economically libertarian or conservative. Is that about right?
No, that's completely right. I mean, if anything, that's the one thing I say I've shifted on. Most of the liberal things I believe in are the same things that I've always believed in. And if you're a true liberal, you can argue most of your liberal things, say gay marriage, legalizing weed, you can argue them from a libertarian perspective, which I think is much saner, actually. But the one place I've shifted on, for sure, is economics. I'm a small business owner. I understand how these things operate right now. And by the way, like you, I've had Stossel on the show. I've talked to tons of great libertarian and conservative economists, and their policies basically make sense. They're not perfect, but they basically make sense, and they give you the opportunity to do what you want with your money and with your life. And these guys all think, I mean, watching them right now, this endless parade, this clown car up there, and it's like, they think that they know how to run your life better than you do. And it's like, if you had a problem, which one of these people would you really want to call? Like, let me call Kamal. It's like, actually ridiculous. I would love to vote for a politician who said, I don't even like you people. I don't want anything to do with you people. Please never call me. I won't bother you. Don't bother me. That's my politics.
Well, that's pretty much what Donald Trump says. He just says it once you turn your back. He says, I don't like him. I will never shake his head, especially if I have to eat bread. No Ethiopian food tonight. All right, listen, we do have to go, David, because you do eat with your hands, Ethiopian food. All right. I'm dying out here. Yeah. Dave Rubin, we're going to have you back on the Standard Show. I know you want to get back to your viewing party. We appreciate it, brother. And I'm always interested in hearing your viewpoint. Thank you, man.
Crowder, I'm going to go eat Chinese food now. I know you think that somehow makes it gay, but it's just regular
No,
Chinese.
It doesn't make it gay, but you know what? It's going to be very much like this debate in that once you're done with it, 15 minutes later, you're going to want to do it all over again. So thank you very much. I'll see you, Dave Rubin.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, Kamala Harris. Let's go to it really quick, and then we do have to go to a commercial break because I have to pee.
Oh, well, there you go.
I really like Dave Rubin. He's such a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. He took that question in stride, too. It's nice.
Here's the thing. I obviously, I joke, but these are genuinely curious questions. Like, how many questions have I asked you about being a quarter black? I'm like, man, when you were being raised, what was that like? Were people surprised?
Right.
When we talk about bridging the racial divide, you don't have to act colorblind.
Right.
And the truth is, the only way you learn of these things, Smooth Manny back there.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Colombia aside from Shakira and Pablo Escobar. He teaches me, right? That's how it happens.
Don't talk about the king.
The king. Oh, geez.
All right, let's see what she's pounding the podium.
But what does Donald Trump do?
Grows the economy.
Wait, is it just me or she got notably blacker?
She did. She popped out the Ebonics.
Whoa, yes, because you came here illegally.
Whoa, yes, that was an illegal coming here.
Hickenlooper made more like Hick and Pooper.
Jeez.
You've been holding that in your back pocket, haven't you?
Yep.
Look, watch. It's Jafar in the prison cell. Watch when Hickenlooper. Look, that is the face of a crazy lady. That is the face of a crazy lady. Williamson.
Crazy. Me? Huh? No.
At least he knows to keep his mouth closed when he's not talking because he's like, just don't show them the chompers.
Stop saying that they're all asking for asylum.
Well, certainly the images we've seen this week.
Gosh,
doesn't it look like Jafar in the Aladdin prison?
It does. It has that angle.
Impact that the world is judging us by.
Vote for John Hickenlooper. He looks like an eagle.
This country would
he looks like American.
By the way, you want to know how you solve the problem when we talk about the crisis right now? The only way you solve it is if you make sure they can't come in. is if you make sure there's a wall, is if you make sure you secure our borders. Listen, it's just like not disciplining a kid. It ends up being far worse for them down the line. If you let people in, you have to put them somewhere. You have to do something with these people. And what do they want? They want to just let everyone be granted immunity, become American citizens, and close the books.
Yeah.
We're saying don't let them in the first place.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're talking about people in cages. Again, that goes back to Clinton and the Flores consent policy, which Barack Obama violated because he saw it as an incentive to discourage illegal immigration by caging kids with their parents.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we understand this.
But it was okay when he did it.
Yeah, and I know it's increased drastically. They'll say, well, it's increased drastically since Donald Trump became president. Because we had 100,000 illegal immigrants in March. And by the way, do you know why more? Because the economy is better.
Yeah.
How do these people talk about the crisis of mass migration while not acknowledging the reason for the crisis of mass migration?
And if you've got a problem where you have too many undocumented people that live here, and by the way, that's a problem for them too. They live in a shadow economy. They can't call on justice to help them if they're being robbed or if they're being exploited in some way because they're living in the shadows. They'd be deported. So they get taken advantage of all of the time. So it's bad for them. It's bad for everybody. The first thing you would do is close the door.
You know where they
say,
don't have this
let's
crisis?
just make sure nobody else comes in.
Do you know where they don't have this crisis? Finland.
You know who figured this out? Israel. They built a wall. What was it? A couple $1 million per mile. They built like 150.
Yes, it's not entirely appropriate, because of rockets and terrorists. But
well,
I
no, I'm
understand
just
the
saying
principle.
they figured it out. They had people coming in that they wanted to make sure didn't come in. They had a problem. They solved that problem.
Yes,
for the most part, right?
What is she saying right now?
To buy her book.
Crazy things.
Something about gays and AIDS and like prayer and just happy thoughts. That's
She's the kind of crazy broad who would try to cure your HIV with with lavender oil.
Right? Yeah. Just put some tussin on it.
You think they pulled her off the street?
Mix some frankincense in your LaCroix. You'll be the next Magic Johnson.
Because you notice
it's in my book. Some eucalyptus on your ball sack. Your syphilis will be a thing of the past.
But I've transitioned.
It made it up to 1155 on Amazon bestseller.
Williamson's one of those people where I see claims and people say things on Twitter. I'm like, I guess that could be true. I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm out.
You're out.
Thank you very much.
Me too, babe.
Golly, you guys are drinkers.
Oh, geez.
Whoa. Almost had a
Careful.
woman down.
Careful, or what?
Whoa.
Someone's got to give you a fresh one in the kitchen later.
Hey,
I think someone's
the
gonna like
volume
the
a little bit.
Cabernet.
Seekers are given lawyers where there's real immigration judges, not employees.
Wait, hold on a
of the
second.
Attorney General, but
We want to
appointed for
pay
life.
for lawyers for every asylum seeker? So let's rack up the bill right now.
Oh, boy.
Free healthcare, free education, $1,000 for everybody. Right? Thank you very much. And now lawyers for illegal immigrants.
Yeah. How about this? The first safe country you arrive to is where you have to apply for asylum. First and foremost, if you're not from Mexico and you're applying for asylum, the line starts a little to the south.
Yeah, you know what?
Apply there.
I hate to say it, but that would backfire because there is no safe country. To the
Mexico,
south.
relatively speaking, is not a war zone, right? They're not a country that is in a state of war.
I saw Beverly Hills, Chihuahua. I don't know that I agree.
No, and look, there may be drug cartels, but there's still places that you can go. I'm sorry, that's what the
I'm
rules
talking
are.
about there are talking dogs.
Yeah.
Talking dogs. What the? Dags? Like Dags?
Only audio.
It really went right over
this.
me. Yeah, thank you.
You lost
Did it go over to you too, though?
Why were they raising
I
hands?
got it.
I just
Whatever.
saw Solwell. I imagine it's like, I'm constipated.
Anybody need preparation H? I do.
My presidency because it is dead wrong. We got to talk about one other thing.
Your presidency is dead. That's true.
The Republican Party likes to cloak itself in the language of religion.
Really?
Now,
Cloak?
the party doesn't talk about
You like to
that as
cloak
much.
yourself
Largely
in
for
the
a very
stem
good
cells of
reason.
Hold on, let me see.
thousands of
Hold on.
fetuses.
Hold on.
Separation of church and state, and we stand for people of any religion and people of no religion. But we should call out hypocrisy when we see it. And for a party that associates itself with Christianity, to say that it is okay to suggest that God would smile on the division of families at the hands of federal agents. That
Who
God
said that?
Who said that when?
How about 32-week abortions, butt gig, that you support?
Yeah.
How about every senator here who voted against the Babies Born Alive Act, which just guaranteed health care to babies who were already born from surviving botched abortions? Do you think God's smiling on that?
Yeah,
Oh, you're saying that God has a problem with rule of law like borders? Do you think, by the way, do you think God, this is one thing that is remarkable to me, they act like there was no pragmatism in the Bible. Do you think that Jesus didn't have a basic understanding of geography? Jesus of Nazareth? Why didn't they mention Nazareth?
His name.
Galilee, when he rode and attended a donkey in the palms, like, it is just riddled with geographical and topographic references.
Yes. Of course. Well, and by the way, I can't believe that he just called on the name of God to say, I can't believe that we would have children separated from their families. That is not Christian.
By the way,
really?
drink.
Oh, jeez. I don't want to keep drinking here.
You have to.
And he said, my party doesn't talk about religion a lot because we believe in the separation of church and state. Really? Apparently you don't know what that is.
You better drink.
Oh, sorry. I just did my mug.
Hey, Pete Buttigieg, here's a copy of the Constitution. Find those words for me.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was so that we would not impose a state religion. It's like you guys don't know anything about history at
Probably
all.
more likely to roll up the Constitution and stick it on his bunghole with a gerbil.
Oh.
I was going to say something about Romans.
I'm just saying he looks like Richard Gere.
Just saying.
I think we have a Trump tweet here.
Ooh.
Trump, that's right. Our president is tweeting right now.
What'd he
All
say?
Democrats just raise their hands for giving millions of illegal aliens unlimited health care. How about taking care of American citizens first? Exclamation and question mark. That's the end of that race, and they're going to go back to Donald Trump is a racist.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Because he's pragmatic about it. 100,000 people last month? Isn't that the stat that came
You know
over?
something?
100,000?
Okay, he was obviously talking about the Democratic race for presidency. I guarantee you tomorrow morning they're saying that he was talking about Mexicans.
Hey, hold on
Oh,
a
yeah,
second.
of course.
Yes, Gerald, can you move your hat from the clock? I can't see our actual clock. He puts his hat above the clock, but I need to see when
Let
our
me put it
guest
on the
comes
camera. How about that? That work for you?
Shouldn't you have been assassinated by now?
The play is still going on.
Can someone get us a
Lincoln's my
flintlock?
man.
Where's an assassin when
Here's
you
something
need
that's
one?
remarkable to me. You know, they talked about Hillary Clinton, right? She was, they said she lost the election, and she lost the Midwest, which surprised me. Surprised with Michigan until I realized that how the cozy relationship that Donald Trump had with sort of pandering to unions, by the way, the biggest political donors of all time. And I think he would lose those same states to Bernie. But the reason... I think Bernie would beat Donald Trump the way Donald Trump beat Hillary if he were to win. I think it's a 50-50 shot. I'm saying if Bernie wins, that's how he wins.
I don't
think
Bernie
Biden
wins.
has that path to victory. I think Biden loses the same states that Hillary wins. Now, here's what's interesting to me.
he loses more,
because they were seen as an elitist party, not looking out for the best interest of Americans. Here's what they've done. They've swapped the elitism that you saw with Hillary Clinton, right, and the big donor class, and basically the big Democratic elites, and they've swapped that in not looking out for Americans, in being an elitist party to illegal immigrants and non-contributors. So Americans don't feel like they're looking out for their best interest.
No.
They're just not looking out for the donor class. They're looking out for the non-donor, non-citizen class,
So
and that's why they'll lose.
I really think that a guy like Bernie Sanders wins New York and California, and he does horribly in swing states because of his policies. I don't think there's a lot of support for his stuff. I think a lot of the support that he's getting is just like it was last time in the primaries, and that's it.
Can I just hear what the question is? What they're answering? What are they answering right now?
And that is their only offense. Is that person to be deported?
We do have Dan
Oh
Crenshaw
my God, we're
send in
still
a
on
video.
illegal immigration?
I know, right?
Yes, yes. If they came here illegally, they should be deported. Why is
gonna be
this
a long
hard?
night.
I don't understand this.
Heads up, we do have Dan Crenshaw. He sent in a video for us.
Oh,
we do. That's right. Okay. You know what? Okay, hold on a second. Since they're going on about immigration, we're going to take a quick break. Again, hashtag Crowder debate. Oh, we have trivia. So we have some trivia right now. Winner will be announced later on. Winner of the costume contest, winner of trivia, and the person who sends in the most American video you can possibly record. Right now, we're going to a break. I believe, is this Jim Norton?
This is
Jim Norton who sent in a video with the most American thing he could. Oh, first trivia is what cigar did Bill Clinton famously use? Tweet your answers at S. Crowder, and the winner, I guess we'll probably average it up there at the end. You'll win something. I don't know. You'll win. We'll take a DNA scraper full of Gerald's half beard here today.
We'll figure.
There we go. Yeah.
Jim Norton right now, and a quick break with the most American thing you can think of. We'll be back after this with John Stossel.
Happy 4th of July to the Louder with Crowder Mug Club. I think my favorite thing about being an American, the quality in us that I cherish the most, is how we talk about valuing free speech while at the same time joining a social mob and targeting and trying to cancel a person who says something we find objectionable. We value free speech, but only our own. I think that's my favorite quality as a nation, is our staggering lack of self-awareness. And despite talking a good game, in the end, I did not have the balls to wear this hat. Happy 4th of July.
From Lady Liberty, standing in the harbor, to the sheer majesty of the Grand Canyon, all the way to Donald Trump's historic electoral victory, everywhere you turn is a reminder that this country is better than yours. Our food tastes that much sweeter.
Our women are that much hotter, and our teeth are that much straighter. So please, stop by, come say hello. Do a keg stand in the parking lot, and join us as we all give a collective middle finger to England as a reminder that we are never, ever, ever, ever getting back together. A place that's pure America.
A happy 4th of July to all the folks from the Louder with Crowder Mug Club. I can't think of nothing more American than slinging lead, baby. Here we go. Woo! America!
Coming up through our 4th of July break, Louder with Crowder's American History Masterclass. Featuring historian David Barton, hosted by yours truly, each day we'll dive into a new topic complete with context and one-of-a-kind historical artifacts that I'll try desperately not to break. In-depth discussions on the history of the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Revolutionary War, and the history of the United States Navy. That's a new installment each day, all week, July 1st through 5th. Don't miss it, unless you hate America, in which case, please do.
With Crowder Ranger Panties. Buy yours today at louderwithcrowdershop.com.
Attention. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to Superior Drinking Vessel. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer linked to asbestos-lined monochrome metal tumblers. Inhaling in the vicinity of these carcinogenic canisters may have put you at risk. Go to louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub now for a girthy, handish mug that, for all we know, probably cures cancer. That's louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub. Don't hesitate. Once again, that's louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub. Join now.
Happy 4th of July, Louder with Crowder Mug Club. Here's the most American thing I can think of.
Assumes his position in the White House. You have no judges. You come as they retire. They get sick, they pass away, things happen.
And we are back. Thank you so much, Jim Norton and Joy Villa. We have Brian Callen and who's the Earthworm Jim creator, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's his name again?
Doug TeNapel.
Doug TeNapel. I'm hearing a baby crying.
He's a good
Team
guy.
from HR, close the second door for crying out loud. Treat
Come
the studio
on.
like a dark room.
Oh my god.
People bringing their babies here.
Wrong. It's just wrong.
How does that even happen these
Tell you what, that's where hopefully they're going to get to the Planned Parenthood discussion soon, and you could learn a thing or two.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
wow.
That got really dark. This has turned me into a person that I just don't like myself. Maybe I do need Marianne Williamson's book.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe it would help. They're giving Butt Gig a lot of airtime, by the way, right now.
All right, let's see what Butt Gig has to say.
And Americans are going to pay
God
on
hates
average
taxes.
$800
Oh, okay.
Wait, did I just see Biden's hand going up to pick his nose?
China is investing so that they could soon be able to run circles around us in artificial intelligence. And this president is fixated on the China relationship as if all that mattered was the export balance on dishwashers. We got a much bigger issue on our hands. But
Really?
at the moment when their authoritarian model is being held up
Look at
as
Biden hold up his fist. He's like, this is what I would do if it were consensual.
By the way, you know the biggest issue with China right now is them stealing our intellectual property. That's one of the arguments we're having.
If we disinvest
Is something wrong?
in our own
Or
infrastructure,
the camera move?
we're never going to be able to.
Oh, okay. Hello, thank you, Quarter Black Garrett. It's got to be very hard to do in slave
Now
garb.
get back over.
We actually have to demonstrate.
Hey, by the way, for people, we are going to be on break. No more live
I
streams
hadn't
until
freed yet.
August 1st. So do follow me on Instagram. Is it Louder with Crowder on Instagram?
It is, sir.
It's because, yeah, Steven Crowder is taken.
Massa.
Louder. They're coming back after this? Wow, we took a break and now they're having a break. We're going to have John Stossel come up in a couple of minutes. It is, oh, by the way, the answer to the trivia. Sorry, I have so many things to get to.
So many things.
What
Trivia,
cigar did Bill
let's do
Clinton
it.
famously use? The Grand Reserve Gurkha cigar. Tweet your
Really?
answers
Yes,
at S. Crowder.
famously.
Yeah.
with
Famously?
the hashtag
Not allegedly.
CrowderDebateStream. Yeah.
Not allegedly.
Famously.
Not allegedly.
Oh my
No, it's just well known.
Yeah.
Famously.
Grand Reserve Gurkha.
How many times are you going to say it?
One more time, Brian. Do it.
He's a little stuck on that word.
Famously.
I get weekends off.
Get it
and
because
I
he
am my
cigared
own
her in
boss.
the...
Oh.
Has anything surprised you yet? Anything so far stood out?
Have we been watching it?
We have.
Hickenlooper's teeth. No, honestly, like I am amazed at people who don't even consider looking presidential.
Yes.
It really is remarkable to me. These things matter.
I think the funniest thing so far is Yang is like listening and like, wait, what? What'd you say?
Let's start with Dan Crenshaw.
Right.
I don't know.
We got the Dan Crenshaw video. You want to do that real quick?
Oh, do we have that right? What is a Dan Crenshaw video?
Well,
Dan Crenshaw sent us in a video, so we can go to that. Here's a video from Dan Crenshaw. Is this the most American thing you can think of?
No, he was supposed to be here, but Nancy Pelosi screwed it up for everyone.
Yeah.
That's true. Nancy Pelosi, she ruined our night.
Oh, that's right. She did. I don't like her even more.
By the way,
That's
I'm
hard
pretty
to do.
sure that Nancy Pelosi, like if I had to bet my bottom dollar, she smacked him around like the pharmacist in It's a Wonderful Life. With butt gig. I'm pretty sure that happened.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Nancy Pelosi at some point put rat poison in the wrong pill, and Pete Buttigieg goes, I know you didn't mean to do it, Mr. Was it Mr. Plasky? I know you didn't mean to do it. And she crushed his eustachian tube.
Bam.
I just crushed my own. I should have reenacted that. All right.
Don't do
Here's a
that
video
to
from Dan
yourself.
Crenshaw really quickly.
You're not going to like it.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be with you. We had late votes. I hope you are looking forward to another Democrat debate where they can try out their crazy language skills and prove to everybody that they do not in fact speak the language they're trying to speak. That was probably my favorite part from last night's debate. Anyway, happy 4th of July. It's coming up. And I want to show you the most American thing I can think of, which is beating our favorite Canadian in deadlifting, destroying his best deadlift. Here it is.
Wait, is he wearing white or black suit socks?
I don't know. By the way,
you just got called out.
No, he is stronger than me in the deadlift because I can't do anything with my wrist.
Classic.
And he's like, people don't realize this because the camera adds 10 pounds. He's 4'9". If he were next to,
Yo, what you gotta say about short people, dog?
Daniel Crenshaw is a very good-looking guy because he was actually an understudy at the CW network. He would be positively dwarfed by Andrew Yang and Pete Buttigieg if he were to stand in the
But
lineup.
you should be stronger if you're bigger.
Matter of fact, that's actually how he got his job. Dan Crenshaw, did you know this, Representative Dan Crenshaw? He was actually picked out. He was just at the police station, was in a lineup when Pete Buttigieg committed the sexual assault. And Dan Crenshaw just happened to be there because they matched size. But the person said, I know it can't be Dan Crenshaw. That guy's far too little. It's Buttigieg.
He's not 4'9".
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say.
He calls you out and you resort to insults.
Well, here's the thing.
I think we know who would win.
Dan Crenshaw really not, but he's doing the deadlift. You know why? Because he can't do the squat challenge because he has poor depth perception.
And we're bringing in the weights now. There they are, right over there.
By the way, though, you got so much crap for the squatting technique, even though it was correct.
Well, I really hope he comes back on the show because that's probably the meanest.
We love you, Dan.
Joke you can make about Dan Crenshaw.
We love you, Dan Crenshaw.
No, I mean he got crap for his deadlift, but lots of compliments on your ass.
That's true.
Well, he's squatting.
I believe the word was thick with 2 C's.
Yeah, that's the word that's often used. Okay, so do follow me on Instagram at Lado. They just took 3 commercial breaks in rapid succession.
Well, they're realizing that their show sucks.
Which, by the way, here's something else that I find funny.
Cut to break, quick.
They'll be coming back. Yeah, can we get John Stossel on here? We're going to have John Stossel up in a minute. One thing that I do find funny is they have Rachel Maddow on. You know, did they say Chris Matthews and Rachel Maddow? Who's doing it tonight?
She was on yesterday.
Well, Matthews was on earlier today.
Okay,
right
but
before.
they said Maddow. Remember when people were upset that Candy Crowley asked a biased question?
Yeah.
To Mitt Romney. Now they're having people like Maddow. They've just thrown off the veil.
I think
the difference there is that was during the presidential.
Yeah.
I mean, but the other thing is, I don't have a problem with Rachel Maddow moderating a Democrat debate, but if Sean Hannity moderated a Republican debate, Rachel Maddow would go bananas.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think
honestly, that'd be the better way to do it. Have somebody from the other side ask the opposing party a pointed question instead of these softball layups that we're hearing here.
One on the right, one on the left.
And now for
Chuck Todd?
guess which one's the man. Let's hear them. Actually, here's the thing. I actually think Rachel Maddow is pretty good at her job. I know people don't. I think she's sharp.
I still can't figure it out.
I think she expresses the leftist point of view pretty effectively. I think she's wrong, but I actually think that Rachel Maddow is probably the best amongst the left today. Stossel? Yeah, we can grab Stossel in a minute. I do want to hear them though. For a couple of seconds.
If necessary. Because of this large field of candidates, not every person will be able to comment on everything, but the less audience reaction there is, the more time they will all get.
Don't worry, the audience reaction, that would require enthusiasm.
Clap, because these answers suck.
Please clap.
Even though we know that.
With Mayor Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
All right, and we have John Stossel.
Butt gig?
We have John Stossel. All right. Senor, this is actually, when people ask me, they talk about our show, obviously not tonight, this is a live debate, but they say, what has influenced your program? If you had to describe it, what I always say is the two biggest influences, early David Letterman,
yes,
and this man, John Stossel, because I used to watch the Give Me a Break segments after TGIF, and I was a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know what conservatism was, and just when he would go out and go, give me a break, I'd go, I like this guy, I don't know what it is about him, and then I bought his book immediately. So one of the biggest influences of this show, I don't know if he'll be proud of that or ashamed.
Right, yeah,
Mr. John Stossel, thank you for being here, sir.
Happy to be here, but what's a conservative? I'm a libertarian. I don't know what you consider.
I'm sorry. We had Dave Rubin on before, and he said classical liberal and all this stuff. So, libertarian. I apologize. By the way, when I said David Letterman and Stossel, I meant Letterman and Hugh Downs. So I misspoke. Are you watching this tonight, Mr. Stossel?
Off and on. I took a relief break to walk the dog, but yeah, I've been watching.
And what has been your read on this watching thus far?
I hate them all.
That doesn't sound very libertarian.
I hate politicians. They just pander. They just offer people free stuff. They're economically so ignorant. It just makes me hate politicians even more.
Well, we can tally up the bill right tonight. We have free healthcare for all. We have free college for all.
Yes.
And then we have lawyers for all asylum seekers, and of course a path to citizenship.
Reparations.
I would imagine you're probably going to have some sort of installment here in the future tallying up this bill. That seems right up your alley. Just adding this up and having a receipt.
Yeah, I could do that for one of my new 5-minute videos, which is what I do now every week. But before we go into that, I would like to know, who's the guy to your left?
This is John Brodigan, one of my writers. Wonderful man. He is George Washington, but it's not the Washington you know. This is President Washington, not General Washington. And he's also drunk.
Yes.
A little bit.
Well,
Has been all day.
Stone cold sober, which is not a good way to watch.
You need to play our drinking game.
Do you know how much I know about you, John Stoss? This is going to creep you out, okay?
I know where you live.
I know how you keep fit, okay? Volleyball. I know that when you get home...
Beach volleyball.
Yes, beach volleyball. Sorry. I'm sorry. I
best
didn't know
of the
the
volleys.
rules set.
The best of the volleys.
And I know, because it uses your stabilizing muscles. That's how he keeps so svelte.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know that people are jealous of your metabolism because when you come home after work, you've talked about how you eat as much popcorn and chocolate as you want. Do you still do that, by the way?
I do, but I don't eat breakfast, so I don't eat anything until 1 until my popcorn goes down.
Yeah, that makes it okay.
I just remember reading everything. I was a voracious reader of your books when I was a kid. And
such good judgment.
Yes, yes. Well, this is what happened after we watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and then 2020 would come on, and I remember going, "Oh, that's a guy who probably pisses everyone else off at the ABC halls." And now where can people see your 5-minute videos you were talking about, John Stossel? Where's the best place for people to see it?
Just Google John Stossel. We make a video every week. It's nice and concise, like the old Give Me a Break days, not the long podcast thing like yours for hours. It's just concise, what you need to know. But we're still working on the lighting here.
I was gonna say
Kevin opened up behind you.
Turn that off.
It looks like this is some kind of homemade makeshift Raelian cult back there. Is that the guru? Is that Marianne Williamson's guru behind you? Is it Williamson?
This is my new assistant, Rebecca. She's a libertarian, and we just don't know. I'm in my apartment. Oh, that's better. Lighting is new to me. This working on Skype and all that.
Yeah, it's newfangled technology, John. This is... These things change. That being said, you are light years ahead of Bernie. Let me ask you this final question, because we do have to get going pretty soon. And by the way, we just checked. If you Google John Sta in Google immediately suggests John Stossel Illuminati. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Let's give him the direct
That
plug.
was foreseeable.
Yeah, James O'Keefe kind of had a lead on that.
I'd worry about any searches in Google.
Who do you think is the nominee, or do you think it's too early to tell, Mr. Stossel?
Well, it's clearly too early to tell, and who I think is sort of irrelevant. But the best guide is not the polls, but the bettors. Because anybody could say, I think it's this person, but the people who put their money where their mouths are, If you get enough of those people and you go to the bookies and calculate the odds, it's not perfect, but it's the most accurate predictor. And I'm just putting it up on my phone. Oh, it's hard to see here, isn't it?
It's very hard to see.
Electionbettingodds.com. It says Biden's at 27%. He's down 1.2% in the last hour, though I didn't think he's done so badly. Elizabeth Warren is up, I guess, because she was thought to do well last night. It's 16%, way behind. Harris at 14%, way behind.
So have you placed a bet yourself?
Say again?
Have you placed a bet yourself?
No, we Americans can't legally do it except small amounts on predicted. So.
Yeah, but you're a libertarian. Since when has that stopped you?
We do try to obey the laws while we complain about them.
No, you guys pretty much just talk about pot and Bitcoin. But no,
Why pot? All drugs should be legal. Once you're an adult, it should be your right to ingest whatever the hell you want.
John Stossel
I
in the house.
Not only that, but I remember I made the argument at a Thanksgiving table. I can't remember which book it was in, where you were the one who introduced me to this, that someone should be allowed to sell their kidney if they want to. And I think you made the point that when you think of a kidney donor, or you think of an organ donor, the surgeon is making money. The person who's receiving the transplant is obviously benefiting from it. The only person who is not compensated in this transaction is the one who's giving up an organ. And that made me become more libertarian.
Huh. That's true.
Well, whatever works, because that's another good example. Lots of people die because something like 100,000 people are waiting for kidneys, and we have donors who do it out of altruism, but it's not enough. So why not give people money? They say, oh, poor people will make bad decisions. Well, poor people have free will too, and if somebody wants to say, I'd rather have $70,000 than one of my kidneys, let them.
Yeah, I think I don't know how that works with Medicare for all at that point. It just seems like a free-for-all where basically you wake up in a tub full of ice and a sore back. All right, we do have to get going. We're having a lower third there, Mr. Stossel, for people to go find your content. We want to have you back on the show soon. I really appreciate you making the time. Fix the Stone Cold Sober. Go mix it up, sir.
Yeah. I'll do what I can. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you very much. Be well. And it looks like Harris, let's bring this up, is getting into it with Biden.
They look like they're battle rapping.
To preserve the civil rights of all people. I have
supported the ERA from the very beginning when I ran for
Did you just say I supported the IRA?
ERA.
You supported Irish terrorists?
I'm the guy that extended the Voting Rights Act for 25 years. We got to the place where we got 98 out of 98 votes in the United States Senate doing it. I've also argued very strongly that we, in fact, deal with the notion of denying people access to the ballot box. I agree that everybody, once they, in fact,
we do that?
My time's up. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Vice President.
Yeah, your time is up because that was going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
My time's up. I'm sorry.
On the day you launched your campaign.
It's like someone who's doing the fight, like, hold me back. I can't.
Nobody holds you back.
Oh, man.
Oh, nobody's here.
I would have nailed that
Many
kid.
Democrats are very excited by the diversity of this field, on this stage.
Diversity drink.
There it is.
And the perspective.
All right, hang on. I need one of the broads. I'm out.
Bring back up the drinking rules there real quick there, Quarter Black Garrett, if we can, for people who don't know. Hashtag CrowderDebateStream.
A lot of words.
All right, let's see what Bernie hits here.
The Republican Party, we encourage diversity. We believe in diversity.
Diversity, twice.
That's what America is about. But in addition to diversity, in terms of
three
having
times.
more women, more people from the
LGBTQ. Oh my God! This is a social justice phrase of the night. Like alcohol poisoning. Let's bring out a tribute.
Oh boy, here we go.
That's been the social justice warrior phrase of the night.
Oh, baby! Whoa! Hey,
it's in my, cover your glass. Cover your mugs. It's so girthy. It's just a giant wide vessel.
Okay. I think
Let's bring out tribute. All right, listen, that was a social justice warrior phrase of the night. He hit 9 of the drinking game words.
Goodness.
Everyone at home, send in what you're drinking. I think, are you helping him there, Gerald, or no?
No, they got it.
All right, Maximus the PA, are you ready, sir?
Not doing a thing.
All right. And here we go. Social justice warrior phrase of the night.
Oh, go, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Yeah, baby. That up, baby. Hey, honey, why don't you come over here, sweetie pie? Why don't you come on over here for a sec? Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna try my best, Joe Biden. See how this works out.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, but she's over the age of 18.
She is. Oh man, is he doing all right over
Is he
there?
okay?
Wow.
Maximus the PA had. By the way,
He had
knows,
an
Maximus the
experience.
PA had a concussion 2 weeks ago from
he did.
last week from playing
He
Juan
did.
Valdez.
Well,
Yeah, he fell off the donkey.
it's dangerous being you, or working for you. Sorry, I should say. All right, thanks.
Abe Lincoln, you horn dog. But I suppose you have to get it somewhere,
Hey,
considering your wife's a
my
horrible
wife's
person.
she's a bitch. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh.
Not my wife, Abe Lincoln's wife.
Who are you, Tourette's guy? She's a bitch. I wouldn't touch her with
I mean,
your dad.
the guy had half the country against him and his wife. Okay,
Played
it was
by
a
Sally
tough one.
Field.
It was a tough one. She was no peach.
Thank you.
Whoa. It's getting a little closer there.
You are so getting assassinated when you get home.
All right, I feel like in
No guns in the
solidarity,
house.
this is to Maximus the PA. I have to drink something here.
Second, that's why it is
The hell are you, Dusty? This is clearly the least dusty thing in the room.
Dust his head.
All right, Pumpkin, that's enough.
And that's why we have to propose policies that can be supported, like Medicare Act.
Just the right amount of head.
You know why you should be mad?
Oh my gosh.
Is that this is how we make a living.
Yes. Just think, if they were talking substantive policy, we couldn't do this. We'd actually have to listen to what
Oh,
they're
they're talking about
saying.
gerrymandering?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I do have a problem with gerrymandering. I really
Yeah,
do.
I do too.
That being said, someone is going to determine
Is that a racist term?
the lines. Someone's
No.
going to determine. Again, we're back to geography.
Yeah.
They don't believe that people should have to be citizens to vote effectively.
Yes.
So don't try and get all high and mighty when you talk about changing voting demographics when you don't believe that someone should have to present the same ID they would if they wanted to purchase this keg to vote
Right.
for the leader of the free
Yeah.
world.
Or to go and check out a book in the library.
Right.
Or get on an airplane, perhaps. Like, come on.
I just get annoyed because a lot of the people who think gerrymandering is like the biggest issue only discovered it in 2010.
Right.
Like we haven't been politically gerrymandering states.
We have for a long time.
I mean, there are
happens.
there are districts in New York City that I swear cut through apartment buildings.
No, it makes sense. I get it. If you change a district, I get it, right? They don't like it, but sometimes it does make sense to change a district. The dynamics change a little bit, so go for it. I don't care. And the Supreme Court didn't say anything other than we're not gonna rule on this. Just send it back down.
I will say, though, the reason I think, because John Stossel was talking about, maybe we can bring the volume up a little bit, the reason Joe Biden lost some points, this is kind of king of the hill in the sense that everyone's going after him, not because he's at the top, but you know what? It's pretty easy to attack Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Here's why. Because there's a contrast between Barack Obama and Donald Trump, and everyone knows that that's a weak spot because the country was in a much worse situation with Barack Obama as president. So by proxy, they can copy-paste that onto Joe Biden. Right now, he's having to defend all of Obama's crappy policies.
Yeah. I mean, and that'll be
that
the
no
thing
one else really has to.
Yeah, that'll be the thing that brings him down if he gets the nomination. One of the things.
By the way, don't you love that Barack Obama didn't endorse him and he's like, I didn't want him to. I told him specifically, I said, don't you
Actively
endorse me,
against him.
Barack.
Yeah.
And then I walked on down to Amy's Diner.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't the sitting president usually not endorse?
Huh?
Like,
they usually do.
Like I don't think Reagan endorsed her during the Bush 42 primary.
It does get a little dicey. Well, the West Wing addressed this, Stephen.
But he's not the sitting president, Barack Obama.
No, are you talking about now or are you talking about before?
Well, no, I'm talking about now.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I'm talking about now.
All right, now he's
Barack
finally
Obama
no, you're right.
endorse him right now.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's too early for an endorsement anyway, right? So if he comes down to like the last 4 or 5 people, then I wouldn't be surprised.
He could goose him along a little bit.
Well, he's doing fine by himself.
He
He doesn't need it. So what happens if you're Obama and you endorse him and all of a sudden he loses? Like you got to pick between the people you didn't endorse to endorse. I mean, it can be a little embarrassing.
Into the hands of the voters.
Oh,
not
shut
into
up.
The Koch brothers. We were
Oh, the Koch
By the way,
brothers.
the Koch brothers can't stand Donald Trump.
And they can't catch a break here either.
No,
They're like perpetually the people called out like, son of a gun. They mentioned
Did
this
you
again.
notice yesterday when they asked Cory Booker to name specific companies? He said Amazon and Halliburton. It's like, what? Halliburton? Halliburton pays. How far back did you have to reach for that, asshole?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Halliburton. I remember when George Bush was president. That was the catchphrase. Halliburton. Yeah, but what about Halliburton? Yeah, but what about
Exactly, every
Halliburton?
single
Dick Cheney.
Been the law of the land since 1974.
Okay,
I didn't know
abortion.
Seth
Here we go.
Rogen
Here we
was
go.
moderating this.
Shh, we got to hear this. This is abortion,
Republican-controlled states have passed laws to severely restrict or even ban abortion.
which makes sense.
One of those laws could very
Good on
well
him.
make it to the Supreme Court
I
during
hope.
your presidency, if you're elected president. What is your plan if Roe is struck down in the court while you're president?
Well, my plan is somebody who believes, for a start, that a woman's right to control her own body is a constitutional
It's a good
right.
thing.
That
Good.
government and politicians should not infringe on that right. We will do everything.
By the
we
way,
can
this is something
to
they talk about. They're trying to, let's be really clear about this.
Yeah.
They're trying to set up this narrative that these states are extreme, right? These states are extreme because they have heartbeat bills or they have some kind of restrictions on abortion.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think one state doesn't make exception for rape and incest, and the other ones do. Georgia. That's right. It's tough to keep track of Georgia, Alabama. What he just said is no restrictions on abortions, period. Bernie Sanders believes in abortion up to 9 months if it's inside the birth canal. And keep in mind, every single person on the stage who had the ability to vote voted against the Babies Born Alive Act, which simply would protect babies who had already survived abortions and already been born. So while they try to portray this as though the heartbeat bill is super extreme, let's be clear here. These people, many of whom receive all kinds of funding from pro-abortion organizations, Planned Parenthood themselves, pushed against any rollbacks to abortion just to 20 weeks. Every single person who could vote on this stage, supports abortion up until the moment of birth, and in many cases, after birth, if they've survived an attempted abortion. So let's be clear about who the extremist is here. That's most important.
And if you're one of those people that is going down to the border for a photo shoot in an all-white outfit, crying with rage, AOC,
$1,000 watch,
right? Yeah,
at a parking lot.
Fine, she could have got at a parking lot that turned out not to be the thing. If you're upset about people having migrant children being kept in cages, quote unquote, you better be pissed off about a child being born and left on a table to die.
Yeah,
there is no excusing that
Reproductive
at all.
rights,
There's no
drink.
consistency.
Reproductive rights, drink.
And by the way, on abortion, aren't we one of like 10 countries in the world that allow it after 20 weeks? So 9 countries,
we're one of the
8
only countries
something like that.
in
And
Europe.
North Korea and China are on the list?
North Korea and China. We're one of very few countries who actually have abortion as far as we do, including, by the way, most nations in Europe, and it well before most states do. And people act as though that's some kind of crazy right-wing talking
it's like
point.
some
That's
weird
only because
thing.
of how far the left is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's this false premise that we're trying to control women's bodies. No, we're just trying to say don't kill babies. Please,
I
just
want
don't
to hear
kill
Williamson's opinion on this. I feel like she would support like live dolphin birth.
yeah.
Where you like give birth, nature knows how to help you take its course, and like they would have that was an actual thing where they would have dolphins deliver babies.
Really?
Yeah, but then the dolphins started stealing kids.
What is the shape of water and like
the dolphins started stealing kids.
Did they really? Yeah. Dolphins are pricks.
They were remote controlled by Biden. No, it was an actual thing, dolphin birth. Look it up.
McConnell walks into the Oval Office, God forbid, to do negotiations. Who do you want when that door closes to be
Not
sitting
you.
behind that desk?
Definitely not you.
I mean, here's honestly, let's be real. They just kind of gave that one to Trump. You're saying, who would you want to negotiate a deal? Maybe the guy who wrote Art of the Deal?
Yeah. But hold on. The whole premise of this question is wrong. It says, okay, if Roe gets overturned in the what? I'm sorry, in the the co-equal branch of government that handles this, the courts,
right?
You can't do anything. If all they're going to do basically is say it goes back to the states. That's it. They're going to give the states full power to take care of it.
It also shows how little Bernie knows about the law. There is no constitutional right to abortion.
No.
It's about privacy law.
If you look
That's really
at
what
the Constitution.
Climate change. Drink.
Climate crisis. It's worse.
That's 2.
And the fact that we have a
10 years.
president of the United States who has embraced science fiction over science fact will be to our collective peril.
Oh, science fiction? You mean like chopping off your cock and calling yourself a woman?
Right.
Is that what you mean?
You mean like Florida was supposed to be gone by
Where
now?
everyone looks like a Space Odyssey Spielberg alien with just a cup and no genitalia? That kind of science fiction? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, no. You mean the guy who doesn't believe the people who said that Florida was going to be gone and we would have record Great Lake droughts, record highs. And by the way, sea level's pretty much fine in Florida.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Florida's still there last I checked.
Yes.
So.
It is why I believe on day one, and as president, will re-enter us in the Paris Agreement.
Oh, come on.
Here's what you should be saying. You want to save migrants who are at the border, right? You want to save them. By the way, people who are basically staying at a Holiday Inn Express, okay? It's like NASA camp because they have to use some of that cheap plastic blanket. I know. I went to space camp as a kid. It's not very comfortable. It's like putting a microwave food top cover on you as a blanket. They're like, this is what the spacemen use. And here's some dried ice cream. Like, this sucks. I want to go home.
The ice cream of the
Point
future.
is, I understand their plight. But she just said she wants to bring us back into the Paris Accord,
Climate
the
Accord,
Kyoto Protocol, Paris Accord. It was a Montreal Agreement, Kyoto Protocol,
and Paris Climate Accord. Yeah.
Guess what? you'll be killing millions of people from third world countries.
Yeah.
Now, of course, what is that when you look at things like the carbon tax? That's passed on. A lot of people don't know this. Guess who that gets passed on to? People who disproportionately pay for energy, heating, gas, middle class people. So middle class people will be hit by things like the Paris Accord more than anyone else in this country while we're talking about the billionaire class. But guess who's going to be hit more than American middle class? People in third world countries who have to work an entire month just so they can have enough fuel to hopefully cook a can of beans over an ironing board put over a barrel garbage can fire.
Yeah.
These people don't understand. It would be catastrophic. It will kill people.
And it won't reduce carbon emissions. It would cost trillions of dollars. And scientists, hold on, we need to go back to science because that's what she said. Scientists have even come out and said this won't solve the problem, even if everybody does every single thing that we've said to do.
Right.
And by the way, China is in no way, shape, or form going to do everything that they were told to do.
They're going to do nothing.
They're going to be like,
listen to the
we're
science
not
guy.
on this.
I listen to the science guy, okay?
The science
he knows
guy.
what he's talking about.
We can't get them to raise kids' pay in a Nike factory by a nickel.
No.
And we're supposed to believe that they're going to completely halt, full stop their industrial revolution?
No.
Yeah, we'll get right on that.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, have your Yang Gang call my Yang Gang.
They're going to start hacking to get Yang in. That's the new
This
story.
is Andrew Yang.
Oh, no habla español. He's so fucking stupid.
We're going to look to the leadership of local communities.
Why is Buttigieg getting so much time? He really is.
He keeps saying local communities. He's like the wannabe craft brew of the candidates.
Well, he's the governor of Indiana, right?
Yeah.
There's only one major city. The rest are just local small towns, okay? I spent some time up there.
I meant more to do with bottle conditions.
Saying Indiana is just... What?
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that he doesn't have any major cities. Indianapolis doesn't count.
Gary?
Right? Gary is the murder capital of the world? Really?
No, wait,
per capita?
Is that one Hickenlooper or Bennett?
This is Hickenlooper.
That's Hickenlooper, okay.
Okay, let's see what he has to say.
That we're within 10 or 12 years of actually, suffering irreversible damage.
Okay.
By the way, don't you love
an AOC line.
AOC said, I didn't literally mean 10 or 12 years, and Hickenlooper didn't get the memo.
None of them got it.
Here's the thing. They just keep
parroting it.
Closing a couple of coal plants, replacing them with wind, solar, and batteries, and the monthly...
Well, you know what? Let's talk about wind and solar. It doesn't work. You can look to Germany and France as an example. Germany tried to make all their energy come from renewable. This is the thing.
Yeah.
All of us here want the earth to be cleaner.
Yes.
All of us think you shouldn't be throwing your
100%.
crap out the window. We've got
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
That being said, Germany tried to move to renewables, namely wind and solar. Guess what? It didn't work. They
Sucks.
have power brownouts, and then they have power surpluses because you can't have a battery grid that works to store that kind of power. They have to sell it at a net negative price. Compare that to France, who's mostly what now? Everyone say it together. Nuclear energy, and they're almost entirely energy independent. By the way, nuclear energy uses 300 times less, creates 300 times less toxic waste per unit energy, created than solar. And by the way, the radioactive isotopes have a half-life.
Yeah.
The toxic landfill that's created from solar, how do you think they get these unbelievably expensive rare materials, the mining that they do? It doesn't work. This is a great example here. If they wanted to talk about safe, independent, or if they want to talk about energy independence, oh, I think we have a Hopper here. Hopper and his American flag. American flag. Now I'm distracted because my dog's just adorable.
Right? He is
hey, buddy.
Definitely adorable.
Hey, buddy. I know you love the United States, but the problem is they're going to say you're a white supremacist.
Look, you don't want to watch the movie Chernobyl, the series Chernobyl on HBO, and think that tells you everything that you need to know about nuclear. Go to a country that actually does it and implements it and does it safely and does it effectively.
Read up Chernobyl. Read up Chernobyl is the worst after. Read up Chernobyl, Fukushima. Let me actually. I think I have this written down because I haven't really gone to any of these sources here. But I did some prep, believe it or not.
You have. I don't know where it's at.
Pages 3 to 5.
It's one of those things. But it's actually safer. Lots and lots of people die. There's a number I think that you're going to be able to pull up a statistic that shows that a lot more people die from.
Guess what the death rate is? Guess what the death rate is for solar? Okay, solar and wind compared to nuclear.
5.
Guess how many times higher it is than nuclear per kilowatt hour?
I'm going to go with 10.
4,000 times higher.
Wow.
Yeah, this comes from
that's
fourth.
a lot higher than
10.
The
death rate is 4,000 times.
more.
Yes.
So you're saying there's a chance. 4,000 times higher for wind and solar than for nuclear power plants.
Yeah.
Most of the fallout from Chernobyl, these places, there was a possibility that some people had thyroid cancer.
Yeah.
But the deaths that occur think of the different steps in erecting these solar panels and wind turbines, the mining needed for the materials, the repairs. The fact is, it doesn't work. It's unreliable. It's expensive. Nuclear creates no waste virtually. Basically, waste can be stored for just a little bit of a small amount of time. And it creates no carbon emissions.
Well, and there are plants that can actually recycle part of that waste and reuse it, so they cut down big time on the waste. And if you're worried about Chernobyl saying that thousands and thousands of people died or were affected by it, they were. But guess what? You were
no, they weren't. There were not thousands and thousands. No, there were not thousands of people who died.
Yes, there were.
No, there were not.
There were less than 100 attributable to the actual explosion, but afterwards there were thousands of people that had their lives cut short.
They revised those numbers.
They didn't revise them down below thousands. But let me make my point.
Yes,
my point is, it was Soviet-controlled Russia. They didn't do anything right. The problem with this is that they didn't want to look stupid.
Don't do that to Bernie. He's like,
don't soil my honeymoon!
It was a horrible, if it happened in France, it wouldn't be the same thing. They would call in world experts.
It was just a USSR flag with a hole in it!
It was just Bernie having some bad gas after burritos, right? Yeah. Jeez. So you can be done well, and it can save a lot of money and save a lot of lives.
Hold on. Williamson's saying something crazy.
Oh, here we go.
And I have had a career not making the political plans, but I have had a career
doing
harnessing
nothing.
the inspiration and the motivation and the excitement of people, masses of people. When we know
that was Please shut up.
We're going to turn from
I've had a career motivating people. That's like if a personal trainer were running for president.
She said Green New Deal. She said Green New Deal. Sorry. Drink.
Have we heard from Andrew Yang since the first question?
You're right
no. He's sitting over there a little stunned still.
I'm just confused.
You know what? We could cut to the concentration camp, Cam.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we do have that right now. Most American thing we can think of. Let's go live really quickly to the concentration camp.
Estados Unidos. Yo quiero Copaca, Nicaragua.
It almost seems as though a propeller cap would be impractical given the harsh climate that he had to traverse.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. But the lollipop
he tried to fly there.
It's a great
It almost seems as
addition.
though that would not be, shouldn't be one's first choice.
No.
It almost would be a giveaway.
And make noise, probably.
It could almost be, it could almost make one more visible.
Stop it. You and shiny things. Swalwell.
I'm sorry,
Let's listen.
African European Swalwell.
Are they closing?
Climate change and the lack of economic mobility.
and the lack of my ability to speak.
Family Bill of Rights that includes a national paid leave plan, universal pre-K, affordable daycare.
Where's the reparations,
She's
man?
just saying stuff that she wants for herself.
I want my reparations, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so passing a middle class and working families tax cut.
Which Donald Trump did.
Reparations.
Oh, guns. You just don't like guns.
Credit for the first thing you said, the tax cut. Senator Sanders, first thing, the premise that there's only one or two issues out there. This
I'm not saying there's one or two.
Enormous crises. A political revolution.
He's not going to stop.
He's getting older and crazier. He's like the guy who's at the Bob Evans early bird special. You're like, you can't say that about black people right now. You have to keep quiet while you're in the booth.
Together the entire world, 196 nations, to commit to deal with climate change.
Bullcrap. Wouldn't happen.
So I don't buy that.
Wouldn't happen. You're a joke.
The first thing I would do is make sure that we defeat Donald Trump. Okay. Period.
Well, that's your first day in office? That's what you would do?
That's your
That's
plan,
the question.
man?
First day in office, what would you do? I'd kicking the crap out of Donald Trump.
Pete Buttigieg's like, I'd lay a big wet one on my husband. What? Why am I talking?
Mr. Yang.
Yang.
I would pass a $1,000 freedom dividend for every American adult starting at age 18,
You are getting...
which would speed us up on climate change, because if you get the boot off of people's throats, they'll focus on climate change much more.
All right,
really?
wax off. You're done.
Yang gang.
He's out of this one now.
A collaborative approach to climate change, and I would pronounce it well before the election to make sure we don't re-elect the worst president in American history.
And
Yeah,
Ms. Williams,
well, tell that to the economy, dummy.
Prime Minister of New Zealand, who said that her goal is to make New Zealand
Wait, is she
the place
deaf?
where it's the best place in the world for
No.
a child to grow up.
Oh,
She's a homeless lady. They put makeup on her and a dress.
I mean, are we convinced
I
that
want
that's actually
everyone to
Marianne
know
Williamson?
that you two can go from pooping in streets to being on debate stage. What? You're not even from San Francisco.
You know, it'd make it great for people
There
to grow
was
up. You know, a great country for if you don't kill them. when they're about to be born. That would be fantastic. For
All
children.
right, good. This is perfect. We're going to go to a quick break. We have some trivia before we go to the break. By the way, send in your videos. The most American thing you can think of. Costume contest winners. We'll be reading them pretty soon.
Boom.
Trivia before the break is who freed the slaves? American trivia. We'll be back after this short break.
Not you.
Stop it.
This is for all you lovers out.
What's up, Louder with Crowder Mug Club? Chael Sonnen here. Just wanted to wish you all a very happy 4th of July. And it's a great time to think about what you're proud of when it comes to being American. And I can tell you, I am very proud that our nation is the most generous and compassionate nation in the history of the human species. We will create things like vaccines and share them with other countries, including our enemies. Pest-resistant crops that could have caused starvation throughout many different continents. But we're happy to share that. Even our military power, while we could destroy any other culture or country on the face of the earth, America does not, has not, and will not, because we have made a moral obligation to help and to continue to help. And at the end, that's really who we are.
Stop playing games with your personal protection. Try the Walther today. You see what I did there with the stop playing games? Walther's happy about it.
Let's all go to the merch shop. Let's all go to the merch shop. Let's all go to the merch shop and buy ourselves some swag.
Snazzy clothing and swag to buy at louderwithcrowdershop.com. Like this new signature baseball tee, or these Ranger panties, or of course, the Holy Grail itself, Mug Club.
Let's all go to the merch shop and buy ourselves some swag.
Happy American culture is a product of constant and radical cultural appropriation. We're a great country because all these cultures get together and they learn from each other. They have what's called idea sex. Yeah, and I'll tell you what that makes. That makes for great innovations, but also super good food. Ever eat a burrito? You take rice from China, that's where it started, or maybe India, but who cares? Then you take meat like cow from the old world, and then you take tomatoes and peppers from the new world, like South America, the Andes, wherever. Then you take cheese, which they say started in Turkey, but don't tell the Swiss that, and don't tell the French that either. Oh my God, I don't want to start a cheese war. Either way, put it all together, wrap it in a flour or corn tortilla, and you got yourself a Mexican burrito. Yummy, yummy. So hooray for delicious cultural appropriation. I'm a food slut. Put all your food in my mouth at the same time.
Hey, it's moving day. I've taken a vacation. I'm in the Bahamas. Oh no, it's Mordor. I gotta take the ring to the Mount Doom. Oh no.
I'm not compositing this.
I'm in
louderwithcrowdershop.com, supporting free speech since 2000 and something. With people being banned from social media left and right, you can now purchase this deplatform this limited edition louderwithcrowdershop.com t-shirt, signifying your insubordinance to authority and request for them to kiss your ass and lick your balls. louderwithcrowdershop.com today.
Happy 4th of July, Louder with Crowder Mug Club. Here's the most American thing I can think of. Me! I mean, come on, you're looking at a guy who immigrated from Holland to the United States with his family to live the American dream, and I'm doing it. Listen, I'm even making a video right now for one of the greatest shows in America. Too bad I can't watch football, because that's pretty American, right? Because I'm in Holland right now. But guess what? I'm watching ladies soccer, and soccer is pronounced voetbal. I'll take it. Happy 4th, everybody. Godspeed and party on.
There's no point in wondering where your pockets are. Tasting smooth, creamy milk.
And we are back. Thank you, Boss Rudin and Brian Callen. By the way, let's bring up the drinking rules here really quickly so people can see. Everyone here is
if
3
they can
sheets
still
to the
read,
wind.
right, at this
there you
point.
go. You have to take a drink every single time. Like we said, this is the last installment of a live stream until August 1st. We're going to have long-form episodes. Change my mind here next week. Follow me on Loud with Crowder on Instagram, Loud with Crowder. Listen, I'm not going to lie. This is it's been a night. What else do I need to say? Oh, join up loudwithcrowder.com/mugclub if you want this content to continue, because Vox wants us gone, and so the Young Turks, after we just crossed 4 million, they know by the time we get to September, October, we're coming for you, Armenian.
They're hearing footsteps, baby. Footsteps.
What else was I about to mention? Anything else? Oh, you know what? Trivia answer before we get back to the debates. Trivia answer: Who freed the slaves? Draymond Green and the commissioner of the NBA. Yep.
Oh, because they don't have owners anymore.
Yes,
They do not have owners.
I get it.
They have governors, much like the governor of Virginia.
Yes, but LeBron James is a business owner still.
Before we get back to Pete Buttigieg, who
up on there
looks as
again.
though he
Again,
just
I'm
had
telling you, dude, he's winning this
what is it called?
On
Those warheads, a lemon sour warhead. Two Cute Natty has some new Mug Club join-ups. Let's see these real quick. Some Mug Club join-ups.
Very nice.
Oh, Fiery Red. Thank you.
There we go.
Oh, wait, that was a cigar. That was the answer. Just join Mug Club. Adolfo G, thank you so much. Your mug will not get there soon because we are backordered.
Yeah,
so
unfortunately. We are sorry.
And what's this? Most American thing you can think of, joining Mug Club. We appreciate it.
Loudwithcrowder.com/Mug
Club.
That's true. That is the most
Thank
American.
you so much. That's what keeps the show going. That's the only reason we're able to do this, because if it gets removed, you can watch it on the Blaze. And what else? We have really quickly, we have to hit the costume contest winners.
We do.
Right? Costume contest winners for Cultural Appropriation Month are... Runners up.
All right.
Okay, Donald Trump, lesbian Donald Trump on the left.
Nice.
And then Uncle Sam. I won't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uncle
on the right.
Sam.
They're supporters. Let's be nice.
Yes, let's be nice. No, that's a very patriotic outfit.
Very,
there on the
very
right.
patriotic.
I don't know if it's Uncle Sam or it's Apollo Creed after Dolph Lundgren killed him.
I will break him.
Okay.
If he dies, he dies.
Okay, I redact what I said before. That's the greatest description of anything I've ever heard ever.
And then, the winner. We have the winner. Winner is, look at this. Crowder costume. The right to bear grill my arms. I see what he did there.
Nice.
Very well played. All right, we're going to send you a
T-shirt
T-shirt over there, the costume contest winner for Cultural Appropriation Month. All right, Biden looks pissed. Let's see what he's pissed about.
Vice President,
He ran out of depends.
Lester Holt has
Something
our
about the
next
NRA.
question. Lester, take it away.
All right, Chuck, this is a question from our viewers. We put some
Look at that dude chilling out behind him.
Maybe they could share some. Here's one that came from Kathleen from Canby, Oregon, who writes, many fear the current administration has inflicted irrevocable harm on our governing institutions and norms, and in the process, on our reputation abroad. The question is, what do you see as important early steps in reversing the damage done? And we'll put this one.
This assumes there's been damage done.
Yeah. Eliminate the First Amendment. Add 85 justices to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Reparations.
Our democracy at home. The rest of the world is looking for us for leadership.
At this point, Donald Trump should just offer reparations to the states that voted for him.
Pretty much.
He doesn't believe in freedom of the press. He
What?
doesn't believe
Make
in
California pay
independent
for it.
judiciary. He believes in the
Now, is that
corruption
Hickenlooper
he's brought
or
to
Bennett?
Washington, D.C.
It's Bennett.
Bennett.
That is what we have to
Nobody
change,
knows.
and that's why
Everything he
everybody's
said
up
was a
here
lie.
tonight.
Everything he said was wrong.
Have you not been watching the debate?
Have you? Yeah. There have been
I'm
zero
not
surprises
surprised,
tonight.
but it's like, come on. He doesn't believe in the rule of law?
Well, what's
Really?
amazing to me is they're picking the worst answers. It's like Rocky. It's like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Like,
But again,
must have picked the wrong hat.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what it is? They're confusing President Trump with Donald Trump talking out of his ass on Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And how about Bill Clinton in the rule of law? How about that?
By the way, people who are listening, you do have to tune in your television or another YouTube tab to the NBC debates because they will remove us if we run it full screen. So people who are complaining like we can't hear it, that's because we can't play it for you. So you play it side by side. This is a watch along. But I do want to hear what they have to say.
Another one of these down the line, and this is what this question is, which is you're likely going to have to reset a relationship between America and another country or entity if you become president. Because
Marianne Williamson's like, I had an encounter once.
Because the relationship we have right now is too strong. We need to dumb it down.
Like to reset as president. Go down the line, and I'll start with Ms. Williamson.
Well, one of my first phone calls would be to call.
I'm on edibles.
And say we're back because I totally understand how important.
For me, the Hickenlooper or Bennett, I don't know which.
Part of the Western
Okay,
Alliance.
shut up now.
I'm trying to get one or two words here. I hear you, Governor Hickenlooper.
You know, I talk about constant engagement, and I think the first country I would go to, but I understand they've been cheating and stealing intellectual property, would be China because
he's Colorado.
Okay, you said China. Move on. Shoot China.
We get it. We get it. You legalize hallucinogenic mushrooms. Let's move, Mr. Colorado.
China.
Asians are succinct.
China, we need to cooperate with them on climate change, AI, and other.
Cooperate with them? They're laughing at us on climate change.
We have no idea which of our most important allies he will have pissed off worse between now and then. What we know is that our relationship with the entire world needs to change. And it starts by modeling American values at home.
Okay,
we are.
Mr. Vice President,
Strength.
I'm trying to be quick.
Because you're gonna solve the Middle East conflict as a gay mayor of Indiana.
Okay.
It's not one
Russia.
country. I think it is rebuilding trust in the United Nations and
USSR.
Well, why don't you run for president of the United Nations? Oh, thank you very much, chocolate chip. I appreciate it. Oh, look.
Give me some of that.
Chips Ahoy. Spare no expense.
Chips Ahoy.
Is it the chewy ones or?
No, it's the generic.
Okay.
Have you not seen the legal bill we have trying to fight Vox? We have generic Kroger cookies.
Our European allies and every Latin American country that's willing to have a conversation about how to deal with the refugee crisis.
And Congressman Swallow.
He does a Congressman Swallow.
Breaking up with Russia and making up with
Go in his mouth.
Congressman Swallow.
I'll do it. A grin on his face.
Biden tonight, you have made your decades of experience in foreign policy
not even close.
a pillar.
You know
of your
something?
campaign.
I was not
The time
expecting a
came
food
to
fight
say
to break
yes or
out.
no
All right, hold on.
Consequential foreign policy decisions of the last century. You voted
She has the
for
deepest voice
Iraq
out there.
War. You have since said you regret that vote.
Of course he
But
regrets
why
it.
should voters
It's
trust
politically
your
unpopular
judgment
now.
when it comes to making a decision about
I was
taking
for
the
it
country to war
until I
the
got a
next time?
poll sheet.
Because once Bush abused that power, what happened was
really?
we got elected after that. I made sure the president turned to me and said, Joe, get our combat troops out of Iraq. I was responsible for getting 150,000 combat troops out of Iraq, and my son was one of them. I also think
Generally, when I send our troops into a war on terror, I like them to be combat troops.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I understand you need some medics and some chefs, but if we were to send over, if we were to only pull back our combat troops, we're kind of hanging some IT guys out to dry.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Probably going to wind up in cages.
At that point, it's just a guy up on a telephone pole. Hello?
Guys, where'd you go?
Make sure that it could only be used for what its intent was, and that is to go after terrorists, but never do it alone. That's why we have to repair our alliances. We put together 65 countries to make sure we dealt with ISIS in Iraq and other places. That's what I would do.
Wait, hold on a second. I just thought you said you wanted to pull all of our combat troops out. How do you deal with them in Iraq? No. I pull our combat troops out, and I would send in Air Bud. Because there's nothing in the rule books that say golden retrievers can't go into combat.
That's right, baby.
For the first time, to utilize the war powers.
I'm disturbed.
Someone just fed a hot dog on our street.
Intervention in Yemen, which is the most horrific humanitarian disaster on earth. And thirdly, let me be very clear. I will do everything I can to prevent a war with Iran, which would be far worse than disastrous war.
Everything you can. Like what? Giving them everything they want until they have a nuclear weapon?
That's it.
Letting them do whatever the hell they want?
You got it.
Is that what you would do? I think that's what you would do.
One more break. We'll be right back with more.
We got to make a little bit more money.
All right.
Do we have the most American thing?
The most American thing?
The most American thing
guess
winner?
or
We're waiting one more minute. Okay, we are going to have to go here really quickly to the most American thing that you guys can think of. We have a
Yes.
montage of all the people who submitted and entered, and we appreciate it. This is real. Here's the truth. The reason people say, they talk about how they don't get into substantive policy discussions regarding foreign policy. You know why? Because they don't have anything.
No.
No.
You know what they
Obama
said?
set red
Repair
lines with Iran.
relationships.
It was
They've
just
got nothing.
they were laughed at. And so what happens
Walked
now is
on.
they say, well, hold on a second. We believe that our image has been tarnished abroad, and Donald Trump has said mean things. The truth is, they haven't offered anything. Now, I do appreciate that Bernie Sanders talked about Yemen. That is, but most people just said, I haven't heard that phrase until Chandler thought he was making it up to try and leave Janice.
Yeah. Really?
I'm going to Yemen. We have the most American
That's
thing.
a terrible
All right, we now have a montage.
Here we go. That was random.
Montage, the most American thing you can think.
Of something that resembles America around here. Perfect. Trump 2020.
Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over.
The most American thing is my California mug, my flag pins, my hats, having the autograph of the 45th President of the United States, sleeping under an American flag, having the Holy Bible, the Constitution and the Pocket Constitution, having a Ronald Reagan autograph, a flag wallet, the Capitol, the Supreme Court, the Statue of Liberty, and Saturn V, having a flag to place the national anthem. Now that's the most American thing out there.
Well,
that was
it
pretty
would be the
American.
most American thing out there if you had the right mug.
Yeah, well, California,
Yeah.
what is that, dog?
I think that's a disqualification.
Forfeit
I don't know. That's pretty good. Come on.
to get nothing.
Come on.
No,
Have
you
a
get
heart.
nothing.
Have a heart.
You mediocre nothing. You no talent, mediocre nothing. No, that's unbelievable.
No talent.
What is that guy? Is that guy one of those autograph
We
hogs
gotta
from
see if
TMZ?
he's- Yeah, we got to see if that guy's still around.
He's far too young to have procured an autograph from Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
Oh, somebody got it, for him.
Yeah, you can
As
buy
a
that.
gift.
You can buy that
When
on
he was
eBay.
2.
Come on.
I mean, he looks like he stole it.
Well, what he
What are you
didn't
trying to
say
say,
was actually
Steven?
Ronald Reagan Jr.
It wasn't Ronald Reagan Jr. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And Ronald Reagan. I feel like Ronald Reagan Jr. is the kind of guy who would go out and make a bunch of money at Comic-Con, selling
Signing stuff?
Yeah,
signing
exactly.
Ronald Reagan, and he wouldn't lie. He just wouldn't correct people.
Right.
He just wouldn't write Junior.
Yeah.
Victim owned.
Are we coming back with Rachel Maddow? Look at this dead air that they have. You guys
I
can't
know.
see this. There's like 5
dead.
seconds of a black screen.
They're making sure they have the audio right. Okay.
All right, here
It's
we
a
go.
problem.
Here we go. This is the final stretch, the home
Reparations, where's it
stretch.
coming
Almost
in?
there, guys. We're almost there.
Case to the voters, 45 seconds each. We begin with Congressman Swalwell.
All right, let's hear this.
We can't be a forward-looking party if we look to the past for our leadership.
I don't know what he looked like before, but he
What
looks
does
like
that
he had
mean?
work done.
Who is that man?
When I'm not
That's
changing
Applejack.
diapers, I'm changing Washington.
Where's that man?
The diapers smell better. I went to Congress at 31, and I found a Washington that doesn't work for people.
And I've
like you
suckled at
and
the
me.
government
It's made
teat
of
ever
different
since.
connected. I was
Every
the first in my
single
family
day.
to go to college and have student loan debt. And so I have led
here we
the
go.
effort to elect
Here
the
we
next
go.
generation of members of Congress. And we
Student
have
debt,
a
that's right,
moment
drink.
to seize. This is a can-do generation. This is the generation that will end climate
But you just told them
chaos.
that they
This
can't
is the
do
generation
anything.
that will solve student loan debt.
In climate
This
change?
is the generation that will say
Yeah,
enough is enough and end gun violence. This
How?
generation demands
You
bold
can't.
solutions.
By the way,
That's why
you
I'm running
can't
for
pay for your own health care.
Congressman, thank
You
you.
can't pay for your own school. But
You're going to end
we're going
climate
to twist
change.
China's arm and make sure that they
About how
follow
we're
our.
going to beat Donald Trump.
Here we go. This
I have
should
an
be
idea
fun.
about Donald Trump.
Oh,
Donald
yeah?
Trump is not going to be beaten just by insider politics talk. He's not going to be beaten just by somebody
takes
who
an
has
author.
plans.
It takes a
He's going to be
crazy.
beaten by
It takes a
somebody who has an idea what this
crazy
man has
bitch.
done. This man has reached into the psyche of the American people, and he has harnessed fear.
He's going
for
to be
political
beaten by
purposes.
voodoo.
So, Mr. President,
She just pulled out a doll. This is what I'm gonna do with Donald Trump. She sticks a
you
pin in
harness
it.
fear for political
I mean, she
purposes,
literally
and
has
only
Joe
God
Boo
can
from Major
pass
League.
that out. So
Right.
sir, I have a feeling you know what you're doing. I'm going to harness love for political purposes. I will meet you on the field, and sir, love will win. She's going to-
And she's looking into the wrong camera.
Yeah.
Look,
Right.
this is her
Love-
camera, but she's
love
like,
will win.
I am going to harness love.
Parents came to the United States to rebuild their shattered lives.
Bro, I came to the
Dreaming
United
of the only
States, bro.
country that they
You know
could
what I'm saying,
have.
bro?
Years before that,
Wayne!
my parents came searching religious freedom here.
Here.
The ability for
And
one
I think
generation
I
to
should
do
be
better
your
than the
president,
next
bro.
is now severely at risk in the United States, especially among children living in poverty like the ones I used to work for in the Denver public schools. That's why I'm running for president. I've had two
Thank
tough
you.
races in Colorado. by bringing people together, not by making empty promises.
Really?
And I believe we need to build a broad coalition of Americans to beat Donald Trump and the
Trump?
Now, is that Bennett or Hickenlooper?
That's Bennett.
It's Bennett.
Of
It says on
American
the screen.
democracy and American opportunity.
You can't see it.
This is going to be hard to do, but it's what
Yes,
our parents would have
'cause your plan
expected.
sucks.
Some would say
It's what
for
our
you,
kids
almost
deserve.
impossible.
I hope you join me in this effort. Thank you.
Thank you.
Governor Hickenlooper.
I'm a small
Hickenlooper.
business owner who brought that same scrappy spirit to make Colorado one of the most progressive states
You're a little old
in
now,
America.
buddy. Sorry.
We
You're not really
Actually,
scrappy
Colorado
anymore.
is pretty damn purple.
Yeah.
To reduce
They like their
teenage
drugs.
They're swinging
abortion
back.
But they want to
by
keep their guns.
64%.
Right,
We're
exactly.
the first state to legalize marijuana, and we transformed our justice system in the process. We passed universal
Handle
background
the
checks in
increased
a purple
crime
state. We got to
from high
near
people.
universal health care coverage. We attacked climate change with the toughest methane regulations in the country. And for
What
the
is up
last
with your
year,
teeth,
we've been the
Methane?
#1 economy in America.
Wait, what?
You don't need big
I mean,
The hell?
they make those teeth whiteners that you can stick suck it as a pacifier and get one.
Done the big progressive things everyone else is talking about. If we turn
His
towards
mouth is
socialism,
what you see
we
on the
run risk
packet of
helping to
cigarettes.
re-elect the worst president
The
in
warning.
American
The warning label.
Yes.
Senator Gillibrand, you have the floor for 45
Gillibrand. You love this person, right?
Oh, God. You know, it's almost like consultants said, you know, I like Hillary Clinton, but she's too authentic, she's not scripted enough, and she's too likable.
Our rights are under attack like never before.
Meh, meh,
President
meh,
Trump
meh,
and
meh, meh,
Republicans who want to repeal.
Well, that got really immature quickly.
Which is why I went to the front lines in Georgia to fight for them.
I mean,
hold on a second.
As president,
Our-
I will take on the fights that no one else will.
Really?
I stood up to the Pentagon and repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
No, you didn't.
I stood up to the banks and voted against the bailout.
I never heard of you ever.
So that's how our modern banking system was
Give me a break.
fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, she was the Blue Dog Democrat.
She was
until-
probably just standing outside of Bear Stearns with a sign. You guys are assholes.
Now is not the time.
You guys are dicks.
Now is not the time.
I'm gonna run for president. I'll show you.
We need a president who will take on
Bernie
the
Madoff's
big
just like,
challenges,
yeah, and you're broke.
even if she stands alone.
She was a Blue Dog Democrat until like New York City Democrats said you have to change your payer and everything, and she's like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, right.
Everyone who put me on the stage tonight, I am proof that our democracy still works.
You are getting-
Democrats and
It's a
Americans
And that
constitutional
you're a
republic.
waste of
have
time.
one question for their nominee, and that is who can beat Donald Trump in 2020?
Not
That
you.
is the right question. And the right candidate to beat Donald
In
Trump
Yang's
will be
defense,
solving the
he's a
problems
fan
that
of
got Donald
AEW
Trump
wrestling, and that's
elected.
really all that matters
He
to
will
me.
have a vision of a trickle-up economy that is already drawing thousands of disaffected Trump voters, conservatives,
Disaffected Trump voters?
independents, and libertarians, as well as Democrats and progressives. I am that candidate. I can
No.
build a much broader coalition to beat Donald Trump.
No, you
It is
can't.
not left. It is not right. It is
It is-
forward.
it is not
And that
left.
is where I'll
You
take
want
the
to give
country in
everybody $1,000 for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's as
Canada and
left as it
Sweden
gets.
abandoned it.
That's as left as it
They
gets.
said, that's too far left for us, okay?
Okay.
One,
All right, Kamala.
we need a
Give it to us.
nominee who has the ability to prosecute the case against 4 more years
Oh,
of Donald Trump,
prosecute.
and I will
That's
do
her,
that.
right?
Oh, prosecute. I thought she was talking about all the blacks she
election is
put in
about
prison.
you.
Oh, wow.
That's what it
This
was.
is about your hopes
Yes.
and your dreams.
25%
and
of
your
Garrett's family.
fears,
Yeah.
And what wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
And
And
in the
that's
morning.
why I have
She almost
what I
looks like
call a
she's
3
bored.
a.m. agenda. That is about everything from what we need to do
called
to
cool.
deliver health care to how you will be able to pay the
called
bills
jive.
by the end of the month.
That's what it is.
And
Yes,
when
I
I
speak
think
jive.
about what our country needs,
What she's
I
saying
promise
is,
you,
give me
I
your
will be
money.
a president who leads with a sense of dignity.
As I go bump to this
with
Tupac album.
honesty,
Okay.
speaking the truth and giving the American
politician
family
speaking
all
the truth?
that they
Yes.
need to get through the end of the month in a way that
Giving.
allows them to prosper.
Giving
Well, hold on a
them.
second. What are you going to give? You're going to give your own money there,
Yeah,
sweetheart?
exactly.
You're going to give your own money there, half Haji?
I'm going to reunite America like Biggie and Tupac, who I listened to in college,
Nothing about politics
They were
is
my
theoretical.
friends.
while puffing
Wait,
the
hold on a second.
The
ganj.
experience of writing a letter to my family, putting it in an envelope marked just in case.
What else
and
would you do with
leaving
the
it
letter?
Where they would know where to find it in case I didn't come back from
Oh,
Afghanistan.
okay, I feel bad now.
I've experienced being
Yeah, you
in a
probably
marriage that
I do
exists
appreciate
by
his
the
service.
grace of a single
Yes,
vote
but
on
that's
the
about it.
US
Thanks for the
Supreme
service,
Court.
that's it.
I also had a second letter
Guiding
that I wrote and put in an
community.
envelope after
Earning per
watching
capita income
Philadelphia,
was
just in
below
case.
$20,000 when I took office
Oh, my
into
gosh.
a brighter future. I'm running because the decisions we make
Well,
in the next
brighter
South
future.
Bend,
A
Indiana.
brighter
the next
future.
30 or 40
Yeah, we're mayor of South Bend. I wouldn't necessarily call that light at the end
I
of the
thought he
tunnel
was the
there,
governor of
sweetheart.
Indiana. Good Lord, he's the mayor of the city of South Bend? There's a reason Notre Dame made their own city right next to you. Didn't want to be a part of your stuff.
The only person he could drag on stage to make him seem qualified is Marianne Williamson and maybe the understudy to the mayor for Stockton.
Exactly.
All right,
here we go. Bernie.
These are good people. They have great ideas. But how come nothing really changes?
Because you're all full of
How
crap.
come for the last 45 years wages have been stagnant
That's
for
not
the
true.
middle class? How come
Guys,
we have
by the way,
highest rate of
middle
childhood
class,
poverty? How come
poverty.
45 million people still have student debt?
Student debt.
How come 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of America?
We should
Wealthy.
just chug what's left in the mugs while he's up there.
I know. We can't do it again, though.
That almost got my heart.
Wall Street, the insurance industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the military industrial
So blow up the whole
complex,
country is what you're
and
saying.
the fossil
Blow it
fuel
up.
industry. If we don't
That's
have
literally
the
just,
guts to
everyone
take
has to
them
drink their whole
on,
mug. Everything he just said.
Pretty much, yeah.
We'll continue to have talk, and the rich will get richer.
The
and
rich.
Everybody else will be struggling.
Thank you, Senator.
But the rich get richer, and
But
so do I.
everybody's getting richer right
Yeah,
now, Bernie.
exactly.
Everyone is getting richer. This
The rising
only works
tide.
if everyone is poor.
I don't know about that. I
I'm
don't know.
going to lead this country because I think it's important we restore the soul of this nation. This president has ripped it out.
Yes, the soul,
only
like Barack
president in our
Obama, the
history
first
Ripped
black
it out
president.
like a baby born alive.
Who's my
Brit.
best friend?
And white supremacist with ordinary and decent
What?
people.
White supremacist? Honestly, we just
Goes back
tossed
to that
that in
video.
as an extreme because we needed to fill out the palette.
I think we're
We
gonna
actually
go.
used it.
Yeah, thank you, because I'm empty from bourbon. From not bourbon. I'm empty from bourbon. I haven't even gotten into the bourbon yet.
Poor and hardworking middle-class people.
Yeah.
I mean, I really only
Middle
come,
class.
I really only come here to drink Stevens bourbon.
Fudge.
They're really getting it in
We've
there.
got to unite the United States of America as much as anybody says we can. If we do, there's not a single thing the American people can't do. This is the United States of America. We can do anything if we're together.
Well, if you have the right ideas to bring us together.
Yeah, but I still ain't got no college, do I, Mick? That's all of them?
That's it.
2 nights of debates.
Issues, 20 candidates in all. We want to thank all of the candidates.
2 nights of bad ideas.
To run and stick your neck out like this to you guys and to the 10 last night.
Guys, really, Chuck Todd? There's women.
For completely ignoring our suggestion not to react. You made it a lot more fun.
Rachel Maddow. Okay, so we're gonna take a break and come back with a full recap after this. But really quickly, nothing surprised me for tonight. If you look at the prep, everything we had was pretty much prepared.
Yeah.
Here. One thing I will say though is, when people say Republicans are the party of the rich, they say that. But again, you have to look at the rhetoric coming out of the Republican Party, coming out of Donald Trump. The rhetoric assumes something. Okay, that does matter because it tells you what they believe to be the American ideal, and it also tells you what they believe to be their voting base ideal. It assumes, Donald Trump assumes that people believe in themselves. It assumes that America is successful, that people understand this is the most successful nation in the world. Right now, tonight, they couldn't even pivot. They had to act as though the middle class is shrinking. They had to act as though unemployment is at record high. They had to act as though the economy isn't working. They had to act as though we weren't safer than we were before. They have to act as though everyone out there is downtrodden, incapable, and helpless. Why? Because they require that of you to be elected. Democrats can only be elected if your life sucks. When people's lives are going well, when the American dream, or certainly when people feel at least and believe that the American dream is alive and well, Republicans tend to win. When they think that they need a leg up, they vote for Democrats. Right now, we have a rip-roaring economy that's the best that our generation has ever seen. And it amazed me because I thought, well, maybe they'll have to come in and sort of explain it away, right? So we have some prep here for them trying to explain it away, saying that Americans are working 4 jobs, which also wasn't true. So I had some of these talking points that I assumed they would use to try and address the economic prosperity that we're facing. Instead, they just said, the economy sucks. They just said, right, everybody, isn't this terrible right now? And I think that is going to come across as really tone deaf with most Americans. But let me know what you think. Comment below. I'm so grateful that it has not been removed tonight.
Yeah.
G. Morgan
so
Jr.,
surprised.
Quarter Black Garrett, thank you so much. Smooth Manny, my wonderful friend and writer, Brodigan. We are going to be gone until August 1st, but we're going to have masterclass installments and Change My Minds uploading here through July. We'll come back with a new studio. Courtesy of you guys joining up at louderwithcrowder.com/mug club.
Can't wait.
So much appreciate it.
Ooh.
We cannot continue the show without you. And you know what?
We love you.
We're going to take a quick break and stay with us because we're going to recap what happened tonight. You know what? I feel that my words, I think they might be best put into a song.
Oh.
Yes. We'll be back. Yeah, audio was
My name is Doug Tenaple, and I'm the creator of Earthworm Jim. I love God and I love my country. And the most American thing I can think of doing is chewing Copenhagen and backing my book, Earthworm Jim, on Indiegogo.
Are you ready, kids? I can't hear you. Oh, who lives in a swamp right under the sea? Who sniffs your aunt's head and won't let her flee? Who touches your mom and gropes all the kids? Be sure not to tell your dad what I did. Horny, bite and grab it, bite and grab it, bite and grab it, bite and grab it.
Happy f***ing 4th, fellow Ladder with Crowder muggers. Folks, my favorite thing about American culture is we're the only country in the world that counts chasing the American dream as exercise, where you can go into the same building for a big gulp and a dialysis machine. I'm Razor Fist, God f***ing speed.
Everything we need here.
You know, hey, audio, Wade? Yeah. Hey, come on. Bernie Sanders, Biden and Yang, also Pete Buttigieg, who kept his maiden name, Hickenlooper, whoever that guy is, not super familiar, but I'm sure that he's a prick. Wild horse shit, everything they say. Wild, wild horse shit, a pure horse shit buffet. Cried out impeachment. Drove us to drink. Michael Bennett, no one cares what you think. You want all our freedom, you still cheat and lie. Still think Pete Buttigieg has
has a mean case of pink eye. Wow, oh shit. Everything you say. Wow, wow, oh shit. A pure horseshit buffet. Wow, oh shit. Everything you say. Wow, wow, oh shit. A pure horseshit buffet.
Thank you, everybody. Happy 4th. Next week is Masterclass, and then we'll be back. First live stream, August 1st. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Prodigan's drunk.
I woke up cool today. I woke up night out.